Eh,
We laugh. We laugh. Watching this Yankee game. They're about to win this game.
yeah, buddy.
Come on, let's get that out. Let's get that out. Ah, good swing. All right. Well, we're here Sunday episode. I thought was 83, but it's 82.
Nah, I fucked you up on that one.
Nah, yo, what's worse is the thumbnail I made. I'm still thinking 83. It is 82. Like,
That's funny.
I'm a little ahead of myself. Just a little excited, man. A little excited. You know what happened this week with the channel? Excited.
I mean, I know what happened. I mean, I think people know about it. Maybe not.
Right.
Maybe not everybody knows.
Okay, let's talk about it. Like, I mean, it was a goal we set for like the end of the year. Well, I personally set it for the end of
Sure.
the year. I'm getting 500 subs. I didn't think we were gonna get to 500 so soon, but damn, we hit 500 this week.
That's what's up, man.
It's a big milestone, man. 500. We're halfway there. To the 1,000. If we're so blessed to get to that point, but we're halfway point, 500 subs, which is an amazing feat. But to me, most importantly, is the views. 100K views.
Yeah, that's wild.
Broke that this week as well. That one to me was more like wasn't a like important stat to me because it just tells me people are viewing it, people are watching it, people are liking it, that kind of stuff. So yeah, man, we did two milestones this week: 500 subs and 100K to the channel, and that's all within 3 years of starting to create. I mean, the channel's older than 3 years, and we've said it before, but that's all within 3 years of creating on this channel, which is
Going.
amazing.
I was gonna say of actually going
Of
ham.
actually, I told us some money because money. I was on party chat with him yesterday, and he was like, "Wait, it's been 3 years," and I'm like, "Well, it's year three now."
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, but that's wild." I'm like, "Is it?" He goes, "Yeah, bro. It seems like I just started this like yesterday." I'm like, "Well, I wouldn't say yesterday, but." He was like, "Nah, but it felt like it just started like recently." And I get it, but he was like, "Damn, I can't believe y'all doing 3 years of this shit." I'm like, "Yeah, 3 years of talking shit. So we've been doing discussing gaming." He's like, "That's crazy." I'm like, "That's a wild thing, man." But like, and I get it. It's one of those things. Was like, man, it feels because when you do something you love, and it's like natural. It's not something like it's not work. You don't clock in a punch card or it's none of that stuff. It's not. It's like organic, and you're just talking whatever you like. Your passion is. It just doesn't seem that the time is that long. I guess
Right.
crazy. Yankees
I,
win. The Yankees win.
dun, 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 dun.
uh, yeah, so that's the milestone this week, man. It's pretty cool. Going strong, keep it going. Let's start off with let's start off with you. What you do this week,
Worked. A lot of work.
man?
Yeah, work, man, and work's been actually really good. So, shout out to work. Not doxing myself.
Shout out to work.
Shout
Shout out
out,
to work.
shout out to work. Work is cool. Work is a vibe. For sure. Getting some recognition at work as well too, which is nice.
That's always nice.
And potentially some nice opportunities coming shortly. There, so that's really cool actually. In a short time that I've actually been, where I have been, so it's pretty dope. So that was good. And then just in between that, you know the vibes already. MLB. I'm here grinding these events. This the World Baseball Classic event. I just got Pete Alonso last night,
Oh, I'm on that with you now. Like I'm like on that trade. Like I'm that trade heavy. Like
bro.
yo, yeah, go.
It's just it's a very fun game. And it's also a game too that you could kind of keep improving on as well. Like you could always pitch better. You could always hit better.
Oh yeah,
Be
yeah,
more
definitely. Yeah.
disciplined and stuff like that, especially when you're playing online against people. I'm actually playing on higher difficulties, even against the CPU. So like when I'm doing like the conquest map and stuff, I'm playing on All Star because at base level when you play online,
Jeez.
that's the base level you're at. So like if you want to ever get used
Oh,
to
okay.
like hitting and timings and stuff like that, and it's been recommended by other like MLB content creators and stuff. Just
Mm.
switch up, push up to All Star. And that's if you ever want to like try to play online and stuff, because that's at the speed in which that's at the lowest speed you're gonna be at when you actually play against somebody online.
Mm.
So
Okay.
yeah, I've been doing that even in the conquest modes and getting used to that. So there's not that much difference between offline and online. outside of like any lag skew. But there's also a nice little cool trick, and this is kind of cheesy, but if you're queuing up for a game, right, and you're in your pitcher select, like when you're about to select the pitcher to go and
Mhm.
play against and then set your roster,
Okay.
if it takes a long time to scroll between your pitchers, like if it's like laggy in the menu, it's going to be a fucked up connection. So instantly right away you could tell if you have a good connection to the person you're playing against
Oh,
right from the pitcher menu. So what a lot of people end up doing, and I've been doing this now, is if I notice like I can't select the pitcher quick enough or whatever, or like that
you
shit is
bounce, you
lagging,
out.
I dip, I back, and it's whatever. And then you just have
It
to
doesn't count
requeue.
though, right? It
No,
doesn't
no,
count
no. It
up.
doesn't count as a win, loss,
It's not
whatever. You
official
just
yet.
it's
Yeah.
unofficial. It didn't load in. So and then I try to get like the best connection I can, and for the most of it, it's actually helped out a lot. They still have this kind of crazy issue from the last couple of MLB The Shows where they have freeze offs. Sometimes the game just gets in a state.
That's okay. So it's the first time I
Yeah,
heard that term from my son. My son
it's
came
a
to me the other
it's a
day,
freeze off.
and
Yeah,
he was like, he sent me a clip, and I'm like, what am I looking at? I'm just looking at just not a clip. He was streaming on Twitch,
right.
and I'm looking at this. I'm looking at it like they just standing there. I'm like, what are y'all doing? And he goes, oh no, it's a freeze off, and I'm like, huh? He goes, yeah, it happens in MLB. I'm like, this is a thing? He goes, yeah, it's
Yeah,
happened in the past. It's one. I'm like, wait, hold up, bro. This is a
yeah,
thing for a while, and I didn't even know because I don't play online. I'm not that guy.
sure.
I'm the guy that stay on franchise mode or Diamond Dynasty. I'll
Yeah,
do those, but online is just not my thing. I can only take so much with Call of Duty that I can't go online with a sports title. It's just I'll go insanely like certified. I'll be officially nuts
sure.
if I play the sports title online. Like it's a different beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. It's like freeze off. Like okay,
Yeah,
so
so
yeah.
I've been fortunate enough where it really hasn't happened that often, but it has happened a handful of times, I'll say, and it
Mm.
never feels good. It's an unfortunate situation,
Because you can't
obviously.
do nothing, right? It's just you
You're
just there
just
until the
like,
game catches up
and
or
then if
whatever
you're
happens.
playing, so like you can't message like PlayStation players, right, as an Xbox player, and Xbox
Right.
players, and vice versa. PlayStation can't message Xbox, but like if you're playing against somebody that's on Xbox, you have access to the guide button. So like I'll hit the guide button and be like, "Yo, freeze off," or be like, "Damn, my shit froze," and then be like, "Damn, that sucks." And then it's just a matter of like, "All right, bet who quits first." But then even then, it's like, like if you quit, you get the loss. But I don't even think sometimes if the other person quits, it'll still like you could still be in your game frozen, and the other person could
Mm-hmm.
quit, and the game session wouldn't end. So you wouldn't
You're just
even
there.
know. You're just there. So you have no way.
You
Yeah.
thinking it's gonna catch up soon, but it really doesn't. The guy
Yeah.
quit on you.
So
And then at that point, you take the L, right? Like you
yeah,
take it to the score.
I always take the L, but so when it happened, the first one that I actually encountered in this game this year was on my first ranked game. I was like, oh yeah, let me go into ranked, like first official ranked game. So I went in, loaded into ranked, had my pitcher, went in, and it was like early. It was like early in the game too, because you play a full 9 innings in ranked,
Right, right.
and it was like maybe in the middle of the game I had a lead, and I think I was doing like a pitch off. I was going to the bullpen, and then it hung up inside of the bullpen, and that was it. Freeze off, and then
Oh fuck.
it finished 0-1. And you lose, and if it freezes or whatever, you lose your stamina for that pitcher anyway. So like whatever
Oh,
yeah, so like you gotta wait until back of the rotation until he gets the
that's a
stamina
lot of
back.
penalties. Yeah, that's some serious
Yeah,
penalties for that. Yeah.
yeah, but no. So, but other than that, though, I've been having a lot of fun with that. I actually redeemed. I learned how to redeem. Remember, I told you the Xbox that I got had the
Mm-hmm.
it was the Forza bundle one.
Yes.
So I officially went into the setting like inside of like the account settings on the Xbox and officially redeemed Forza 5. Downloaded that all 129 gigabytes. Jesus Christ.
429
Yeah.
gigabytes.
And I was messing around with it earlier before too, and it defaulted to quality. So here's another couple of things. So I played Forza. I was actually having issues trying to play Forza 5 on my PC. Last time I was playing Forza was actually on my Series S, and
Right.
then
Well, around the
right,
time
like
it
right,
launched, right?
exactly. And then now I was playing it on the Series X, and I switched it over to performance mode. Took off some of the motion blur stuff. That shit runs so fucking good. and it still
Yeah,
looks.
you know like we do that. We take the motion blur shit
Take the
off. We
motion
take
blur
anything
off,
what's that chromatic or whatever that's called.
or chromatic abrasions, or
Chromatic abrasions
but
that's
even
gone.
if but I don't even know if like I didn't see some. I was just like motion blur off, and then on Xbox. Now, mind you, I'm playing on Xbox, and I switched it over to performance and restarted the game, and just it didn't. I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I'm playing on a 2K monitor that I really don't see the difference between performance and quality, but it still looks really fucking good, and it's really snappy. It's like it
That's my
just
thing though. That's been my thing for quite some time when it comes to any game that's doing like performance and quality. It's very
yeah,
rare that a game like there's a huge difference you can see with your eye. Like
yeah,
you can like literally go, oh shit, I see it. Like I mean, I don't like speaking on that because that is one of those things like I can care less about that discussion about this looks great and visually and because it's I don't see it. I haven't seen other than specific games like Cyberpunk
sure.
stuff like that. I don't see a big difference in changing performance to quality other than the frame rate
You
drop,
know who was
obviously.
like
But
that and who could tell the difference? Heartbeat. Heartbeat was big on that because he had the
yes,
4K
yes,
monitor, and because so he could see it's like, oh, this game looks like shit now. Oh, this game like he was big on to I like the game to look good versus like I mean he wanted to perform good as well too, but he was more so like he liked the look of the game versus like favorite
yeah,
performance
he
and
was
stuff
that.
like
Yeah, I
that.
remember
Yeah,
he's that guy where he prefers the look over the
over the
performance.
actual performance. Whereas me,
We
I'm
were always
like
the
always
performance
frames over the
yeah,
look. Yeah. So
yeah. I
but
mean, don't get
yes.
me wrong. I want a 2K or something like that. But if it means take away my frame rates, no, I don't. No,
Yeah.
no. I want the frame rates first.
So I think I beat your son's Drivatar, and I beat Umbra's Drivatar
Yeah, I forgot the
in a
guy's
straight
avatars.
in a street race map, and then I think I seen somebody. I think I saw um Dimber. I saw a few people like in there, like in the few races that I did because I was just playing a little bit earlier, just messing around. But then I had the Hot Wheels because I had the Hot Wheels DLC because that comes with it. So I'm gonna try it out later because I'll be honest with you, like I didn't play a lot of Forza 5. Not that I didn't like it. It was just like there was other games that I was playing. And the
I
same
mean,
thing
we
always
said that
happens.
before. We're not the racing. Like I think you
Yeah,
said that, and I said that we're not the racing league. It's a great game.
but it's
It's just
so
it's not our thing. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I just like there's other games that obviously captivate me and that I would rather play, just because of the type of gamer that I am. But it's cool to like mess around with some of those games, and I think that's also just what I've been using my Xbox for a lot. Is a lot of the games like, I might have had downloaded on my PC and I wasn't really playing, but games like that, like Wulong, I re-downloaded, made sure I had it on the Xbox. I got Forza now on
Mm-hmm.
the Xbox. I think I put Mass Effect on the Xbox as well too. Games like that, and stuff, and I'm definitely gonna get back into those. Just whenever I get like, it's like, oh, I don't want to play League of Legends right now, or I don't want to play the show right now, whatever, and then I'll probably go play one of those or something and get some achievements while I'm at it too. Yeah,
Achievements.
but yeah, man. So that was more or less my week. So just gaming that, and then obviously, pod. So
Mm. Sounds like a interesting week with the work in there too. The whole workflow.
yeah, just balancing that, but it's cool. Like I said, I got a couple of days off now. So it's pretty cool to kind of like
Oh, you
chill
got a
out.
breather. Okay, you catch a nice breather. Catch
Mm-hmm.
up on some things. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So
Definitely makes you like appreciate the days off, and because when you like me with no work, it's like one of those things like I appreciate my days, my time, and everything. But it's like when you work, it gives you a whole different level of appreciation of having those days off. I
yeah,
guess.
absolutely.
Um, yeah. So
But it just takes me
nice
back to
week
like
though.
the older couple of just a couple of years when I was like into it, working and stuff. That was it. Like that was like my routine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'd
Mm-hmm.
get home, be like, all right, let
Well,
me hop
it's a
on, let me
purpose.
do.
You have a
Yeah.
purpose. Yeah. It's good to have that in life, man. It's really good.
Yep.
Makes you feel like you're working towards something. Like you could put a goal and set it and be like, I'm working to that. That's pretty
Yep.
cool. Good week though. Good week. Before I start my week, I want to say congrats to Vampire Survivors. If you guys don't know, that's that
Have to.
digitally cracked game that came out a few months ago. It was on PC, but it came on console a few months ago, and it's been one of those things that I have not been able to delete off my hard drive because it's just that good of a game. They won the BAFTA award, man. So congrats on Vamp Survivors for doing that. I already said we reached the goals of 500 subs and 100 views. But as far as games this week, man, Diablo.
Mm.
Diablo. Good.
Oh
I'll say
yeah,
it
because
like this, but
it was
Diablo.
it was a tail end, I guess. 'Cause we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, well, I finally played the beta. Maybe I didn't play the
Yeah.
beta. Finally played it. I played it all the way up to get the reward. I went to like level 21. You're supposed to get 20 to get the reward. I was playing with
Yeah.
your brother. You was in a party with us. Play with your brother. Like I didn't know I was gonna have so much fun on this damn game, and I have fun on it. Like literally, I can't. I'm thinking about when is the release date? What is the release date? What is the release? In my head since
Yeah.
I stopped playing it, since the beta went offline. I'm going when does it release again? When does it release again? I'm like wanting to play this thing over and over. And like it's good. It was a good solid beta. I can't wait for this damn thing to launch in June. Uh, Solid. It was funny because what's his name? The guy who created his rod,
Yeah.
Ferguson, I think his name is. He he tweeted out as I'm playing with your brother. I'm playing as the Necromancer, and he tweeted out. He goes, "Hey, I already leveled up 3 of my characters to level 20. Wink, wink. You should play with the Necromancer. I'm just saying." And I'm like, "Oh, that's what I'm playing with." And you know, because it felt good to play with the Necromancer, but it came out later on after the beta was over that the Necromancer was purposely OP. Like they broke them on purpose so that people can level up quicker.
That shit is crazy. Yeah,
Like
I
I
know.
was flying through ranks. I'm like, yo, why am I leveling up so damn fast? Like your brother was still not 25, and literally I went from 0 to 15, and he went to like 22, 23. I'm like, yo, why am I leveling up so fast?
Yeah.
He goes, I don't know, but it took me a little longer. I'm
I
like, I don't get it.
I also don't think
And,
that it's. I think like a lot of other games that do that and give you beta and stuff, they kind of want you to push through it and
yeah,
get that experience stuff. But I don't feel like that's conducive to like I don't feel like once the game actually comes out, I don't think we're gonna be leveling up that
No, no,
quick.
no, definitely not, definitely not.
Yeah.
The way they had the Necromancer set out, you could tell it was deliberate. It was one of those things like it was crazy. I couldn't even die, bro. That's how bad, like how the
Oh
game was.
yeah.
Like I had a build where it's like an ability that I put on that I was literally leeching health. Like I press a button, and it was an unlimited thing. It wasn't something like I had to wait for meter to fill up. Nothing. I'm like, okay, this ain't gonna be final game. This cannot be because why would I pick anybody else if I could do this? Literally leeching health off of the damn enemy. Like, okay, I can't die.
Yeah.
And then I had this weapon that like every hit, every critical gave me back like a certain percentage of health as well. So I'm going, okay, this is OP, awesome. But I enjoyed it, man. Got to level 20 or 21 actually. So I got my beta reward. So when that drops, I'm gonna get that. Play some more COD. Obviously, that's my game.
Yeah.
Did the Ronin challenges on that. So for those who don't know the Ronin, there's some challenges called the Ronin challenges on the on Modern Warfare 2. And basically, what it is getting headshots for different class weapons, or assault rifle, SMG, shotgun, snipers, so on and so forth. A certain amount of headshots, and it unlocks his camo for that weapon. If you unlock all the camos for all the classes for that weapon, or for that class, say, you get like an ultimate like gold kind of skin. So I ended up finishing that. Took a little bit of a grind, and then I played MLB The Show, and I'm sold. I'm on that boat. Like MLB The Show's, it was been great. It's been solid every year. There's just the additions of what they did with this year with the WBC and the Negro League.
Yeah.
It just it's oh my god, it's on a different level. This game is so freaking good. And like I said earlier, I don't play the online portion of it, but I do play the I love franchise. Play franchise. I only wish they would. My only ask is I wish one of these years they would add online franchise. Like I would love for online franchise to exist, so that me and my son, or me and you, or anybody else, we can like franchise it up together and create either a league that way,
Yeah.
or just play with the same, like, you know, be the Yankees or whatever team we pick, and be just that team for like, and you be the pitcher, I'll be the outfielder, that kind of stuff. I really wish they would one year bring that about to the franchise. But the game is solid, man. I play with Satchel Paige. I finished his story. There's a couple of things I found out about Satchel Paige that was freaking amazing. Like some of them could be tall tales, because even he says it. The narrator, he goes, you know, it's a tall tale, but like the part where like he brings all his players in from the outfield in the infield to get behind them. He goes, I don't need defense. Just don't
Yeah,
worry
because
about it.
he
I got
knows he's unhittable.
yo like,
Yeah.
and then the animation, they actually wrote that into the game, like his players is walking up behind him,
Yep.
and he's like, I got this, and I'll pitch it. And like the names of the pitches were crazy. Like the bean, I can't remember the rest, but the bean is one that sticks out the most to me.
Yeah.
But like the names of these pitches back then were crazy. Um, but it's a beautiful thing, man, to learn history this way, to be, you know, to see what happened, and what could have been. And it's an amazing feature to the game. The WBC is another one, man. Like the inclusiveness they did to this year's MLB The Show is ridiculously on a different level, and I love it, man. It's a good addition, a good a good addition to the show. Good a good, I should say, yearly review, yearly drop.
Yeah,
It was a good one.
and the thing about the WBC as well is remember that's every 3 years, so like that's not something that we're gonna
Correct.
see. Like it's cool because it happened this year, the international play, and the fact that we got cards specifically for every
Mm-hmm.
team that's represented. There were cards for all the players from each teams and stuff like that. So, and they're
Yeah.
all in a set that you could collect as well too.
I
Because
think the cards will be good till December, is what I read.
oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
so what happens is that once the season, yeah, but what happens is once the season changes, it's not that you can't use the cards after that. It's just you can't use them in online play. That's the only thing.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's
Okay.
just yeah. So the way that they're doing it now, because one thing
Makes
real
sense.
quick before we like really get into it, but MLB the show in Diamond Dynasty over the last couple of years has had this problem where they'll release like a cracked card, and what happens is that everybody uses said cracked card, and that's basically the card that you have to have if you want to be competitive or if you know what I mean. Like it's just
Ah, yeah,
you got
yeah,
to
yeah,
have
yeah.
a Honus Wagner or whatever. You know what I mean? Like insert any type of card. Ricky Henderson card, whatever the card may be. And they'll release the card, and that's the card, and nobody changes it because the game never forced you to change out your lineup unless you're playing like a certain event where they put certain stipulations in. But ranked play, you could basically use whatever cards you've earned. And once you parallel them, which is leveling them up, they're even more cracked than what they were before. So what happens is what they did now with these there are cards that you could use all the way around, which are called core cards, like live series cards, which are real players from right now that are playing on teams. You could always use those cards in every season. But once a new season starts, anything that was in like the first set, once season two comes, you can't. I forget like how long if they're gonna let it go for like another season or two, but essentially they'll lock out those cards because they want you to try the new shit that drops. They don't want you
Right,
still
right, right,
using shit from the first season when
right.
they got new
Yeah,
shit that they want you to use, and it's a way to like get people to like get off of cards that might be like not overtuned but just like really crazy or whatever. So
that makes sense. My
yep.
son, my son got a Ricky Henderson card. He was wilding out.
Yeah, no,
He was
that's what
that
I'm
fast.
using
I'm
Ricky
like,
now in
yes.
left. Yeah, Ricky in left field is ridiculous right now for
Well,
me.
I mean, he's 21, so it's like for him, it's like experiencing these. Like he's heard of Ricky Henderson, but
Yeah,
when he saw like the stats, he was that fast. I'm like, yeah, he holds the record of stolen bases.
hits for power
Yeah,
is that fast, and yeah,
he was
just
an overall player. Like it wasn't just stealing; it was his hits, it was his like home runs. It was the fact that he demanded that respect from any pitcher. Like when he was on base, it was impossible to get him out. Like the dude was fast.
yeah, he's
Like he
crazy.
was quick on the base pass, and he played for several teams. Yankees being one of them, Oakland A's, so on and so forth.
Yep.
But his reaction to it was crazy. He goes, "This is nuts, Poppy." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
There's some legends, man. He goes, and this is when it gets funny because he was like, "And you were alive then,
that's fucked
motherfucker."
up. That's fucked up. That's so fucked up.
Like, what do you think? It was black and white back then? What the fuck? This is the 80s and 90s. Like, come on, let's give you a break. It
Yeah.
wasn't that long ago. He goes, Poppy, that was the 1900s.
No, don't do that. You can't be doing that. 1900s. The fuck.
Hundreds. Holy shit.
The fuck.
Ah, this boy. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. So
that's dope.
yeah, so that's what I did this week, man. I played Diablo Beta, played some baseball, and obviously some COD, and ran that through. But yeah, man. And then just getting ready for today's pod and watching baseball's back.
Word.
Right? Yankees are back. They won today, so they're 2-1 now for the league. Out of 162 games, you still got a lot to go. But interesting to see that this team has put together a starting pitching lineup that's like unheard of. Other than Cole, everything else was different. And it's like we still winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty cool. They started some new kid today, and he did really, really good. So, but enough about that. Let's shout out the chat before we get into our topics for the day. Let's see here. We have obviously. Oh, your brother's here. Okay, so
Yep.
Draven joined in. Vodka joined in. Timber joined in. That's the guy right there. 100 was in here. What's up, Sleepy? I said that in the chat. What's up, Sleepy? If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, go check out his pod. Fell asleep throughout the pod. Happened there. 100 hit me up, man. I don't know what happened there, Bone. And then we have Turpin. Our great moderator is in the chat as well. And for those lurking, if you're in the chat, haven't said what's up, let me be the first to tell you what's up. And the older listeners after we go live, thank you for listening and sharing this out. Appreciate it, you guys. But other than that, what's up, everybody? Episode 82 is now commencing.
Word.
So, what do we got?
uh, I could probably. I mean, obviously we got our mains and stuff like that. I'm trying to see. I mean, I guess we just start with the obvious.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Are you a Western Digital guy or Seagate guy?
Uh, I'm both because I literally have both hard drives in my PC.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, so I have,
I've,
but
I've
no,
always
but
been a Western Digital guy.
so my secondary M.2 drive is a Western Digital, but it's a Western Digital Black. So it's one of the new ones, the SN750, I
Yeah, the
believe.
Black Series is pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's a
Pretty solid.
1 terabyte. That's what I use mainly for a lot of the games that I have installed. And then, but I also have a Seagate 2 terabit. That one's a mechanical though, but that one's been rocking since my old PC setup. Actually, I switched PCs, and I still have that hard drive, so that's got a lot of shit actually on there for the last couple of years.
The
Like I
thing
do
is,
like a lot
in
of
all the
backups.
years, I've had, because I've had external
Mm.
drives, a lot of those. Western Digital being my main one. I've had maybe one go bad on me, but that's after like 5 years.
It
Um,
happens, but
it
it's rare.
happens,
It's
yeah.
rare too. I mean, a lot of it, they're as long as you kind of. I mean, you could fuck up a hard drive. Sometimes they just fuck up. You
It
know.
just fuck up, yeah. I
Um.
mean, if I can get 5 years out of it, I'm happy. Like it sucks because a lot of content's lost once that happens, but you should always have a. I'm always a backup to the backup kind of a guy, which
Sure.
is like my thing. I know it's uber crazy to do that, but I'll back up my backup. So if something happens, I have a backup. It's just weird, I know, but these hard drives can mess up. But say all this to say what Logic has up on the screen right now. You hear this, bro?
Yeah. Good old
Western
Tom Warren.
Digital.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen. This is. I think a couple of pods we were talking about this before because we were talking about pricing of like the two
Yes.
terabits that they had going on, and it's that same
Yes.
conversation we were talking about. Just propriety excuse me, proprietary. Drives and stuff, and how this, and you made a lot of good points. And same here. It's like the pros and cons of doing proprietary drives. It's kind of like, yeah, you got one person, but the one person or the one company now gets to decide whatever they charge because they're the only one in the fucking game.
Yeah, they control the market.
Well,
Yeah.
well, that might all change.
Our
Okay.
good friend over at The Verge,
Yep,
Tom Warren.
good old Tom Warren. New Western Digital expandable storage card has been spotted at Best Buy. It's got the WD Black marketing little Xbox on there
Yeah,
too,
I like that though. I like the
which is
style.
cool.
I
It
like
looks
the
like
style.
that's a cover for it if we're looking at the picture. So like that's to
Yeah,
cover the
yeah.
actual piece there. I mean, listen, this is nothing
Oh,
more
true.
than a really, really, really fancy memory card. Like,
That's what it
can
is.
I be honest? Like, it's a fucking it's 2023's version of a fucking PS2 memory card. Like,
PS2 memory card.
yeah,
Absolutely,
that's
it is
it's
exactly what it is. Yep.
that's just what it is, man. And it's it's like it's cool, and the fact that it's 1 terabyte that they have here that I guess was spotted for $40 less than I think that's what the math worked out to. 1 terabyte cards were priced
Yes.
at 220.
One,
So
yeah.
180. Yeah, so
Bump it up to
40
20. Yeah.
$40 less. I mean, hey, listen, that's the whole thing. I think paying $180 for 1 terabit, like that's a lot,
It's still a lot
but
in
it's
today's
still,
world.
yeah, today's world, but that's still better than 220.
20.
And
Well,
if
that's
you
$40 that you can turn
right,
around and spend on half of a game or something.
and as far as performance and stuff, like I don't know if they actually go into that. I don't know if Tom actually goes into that here. But if it's anything like the actual proprietary cards from Seagate, then shouldn't be an issue.
I
Like, you
gotta
know what I
assume
mean?
that if they are gonna make these expansions for Xbox, that Xbox, that's the standard. It
Yeah, if
has
they're
to be
using
the
right,
standard.
if
I'm
they're
assuming.
using
Yeah.
that, if they're using that slot, because remember that's a proprietary slot, so obviously, and the only difference is just we were talking about like memory controllers and stuff like that. Speeds. I mean, there's a possibility too because they're new to this space as far as to this Xbox, hard drive space now.
Right, right.
That they could potentially be, and I'm spitballing here, they could probably be faster. There's a chance that these might actually perform better than the Seagates because the Seagates, I feel like those are the ones that have just been out, and the only thing that they've done really to them is just made them bigger, made them have more capacity.
Hmm.
Now here with Western Digital, there's a chance that they might actually perform better, but that's all negligible too because we're only talking about maybe a couple of seconds like load times and things like you know what I mean, and read write speeds maybe from when you're like
Yeah, the very
downloading
right
stuff.
speed. Yeah, yeah.
These are still
And
great buys.
that's probably my only concern is that where they allow the competition between both companies on
Yeah.
the Xbox platform to be like, well, we do this better, we do that better. Like, are they going to allow that kind of competition?
Well,
across the board, or is it going to be just the same thing across the board, just one is cheaper?
well, it took almost 3 years just to fucking get somebody else in the game. So
Yeah, that part.
so they let Seagate rock, and that could have also been too the deal that they potentially signed with Seagate to be like, hey, you have exclusivity for making this
I'm sure.
device for X
I'm
amount of
sure.
years, and once that comes up, other people could come in. Western Digital might not only be, because I'll be honest with you, Samsung wants to jump in here and be like, yo, we gotta. But the problem is that once you get other people, especially like Samsung, big name, they're big into memory. They might, say, fuck it, we can charge what we want because we're Samsung, and then it
Thinking
becomes
these
that.
things
And
already, these companies already have it done. They're just waiting for the go ahead. I'm
yeah,
thinking those blueprints already got given to these companies ahead of time,
sure,
so that they can be like from Microsoft. So they can be like, all right, let's get it ready.
yeah,
So once we can say yes, we're good to go. I would have hoped. I know it's not official yet, but it is popping up at Best Buy. But I'm hoping Microsoft has some sort of official announcement to this week. Now that it's been leaking out like this, or sometime soon, like to
uh,
say, hey, guess what? We now have a second option, and it's Western Digital,
that
or is that deal they got with Seagate like going to prevent that?
yeah, yeah, but like I said, I mean, there's a chance too. Once again, if we're seeing this for Western Digital, and I think obviously this was leaked, that Best Buy page that was linked isn't available anymore.
It's a leak, yeah.
Yeah, so it more than likely it was leaked. Like this is probably coming. Like I said, I would be surprised if this is the only option. Like I feel like there's going to be more options. Not that there's so many people in
Mm-hmm,
like the
mm-hmm.
driver space, but there's a lot of companies that probably wouldn't mind making hard drives, and I'll be surprised at some of the companies if they make drives at like a cheaper price. Because once again, as long as they could figure out manufacturing, I mean, if you could start getting 1 terabyte drives down to like maybe $120, then
Oh
we're
yeah,
talking.
oh
Then
yeah.
we're actually talking like that's value, especially on like a Series S or even a Series
Mm-hmm.
X. I'm still of the mindset like there's no shot like you could have X amount of games installed and need to be able to go back and forth between all those games. I'm still of that camp. It's like, I mean, it's cool to have
Yeah,
access to
yeah.
all of those games, but also too, it's like, do you really need to? I
Yeah,
mean, but
like at the end of the day, I get that. Like
I get both. I
I'm
get both sides
guilty,
to it.
guilty. I'm guilty. I will download games and keep them on my library and really not really play them. Like it'll remind me you haven't touched this game in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month, or it's so long that they don't even mention dates no more. It's like, hey, bro, it's dusty. Like it's that long sometimes with these things. I'm guilty of that. Like
Right.
I can get away with just downloading 2 or 3 games because that's really my rotation anyways, and I just download whatever I want to play when I'm going to play at that time and delete stuff. But
Yep.
you can get away with it. It's just convenience at this point to have it there. So
Yeah.
whenever you get that spur of, oh shit, I want to play this game, and it's already there
Yeah.
without downloading.
And listen, Call of Duty's not getting any smaller. Like
It's
fucking
not
Star. There's
fucking
no.
no, it's
I
not.
mean, I mean, I think we already know Starfield's probably going to be like a 100 gig title, right? Like that's not
Oh,
like
easy,
so.
easy, even if not
That's
more, easy,
yeah. That's not
easy.
news, right? That
Yeah,
can't be news. So it's
that,
like,
that cannot be news.
so like I definitely understand too. It's like if you want more space, or just you want to have the ability to have other games installed on maybe an expansion drive and then have those primary games that you're playing on the main drive. I definitely get that 100%. But this is good news, I think, overall,
For
for
it,
people
it
with
definitely
Xboxes.
10% in the chat for competition. It
Yeah,
opens up more pricing. It opens up more like options is good. Having options is never a bad thing. It's
true.
just all around good. I wouldn't say never a bad thing. There are times where options are really that good, but
Yeah,
in this case, these options are like it's needed. It's wanted. It's almost going on 3 years now, and
yep.
we all know the community's been asking for a cheaper or more efficient cost on these things, man. It's just Seagate having a grip on the market for these type of things, and it's the only thing you can, as far as internally, like to tap into what's already in the system, is the only thing you can do is the Seagate until this comes out.
Right.
Unless you go external, which is not the same thing.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. I mean,
It's
it's
not the
it's
same
it's
thing. Yeah.
okay. It's passable, but it's definitely not the same thing. You're not getting the same performance.
I mean, if you go that
Um,
route, is like my son did for a while before he got his 1 terabyte. Is what you want to do if you go that route is just keep games on the external,
yeah,
and then when you're gonna play that game, it's faster to transfer it back into the internal than it is to download the whole game. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like if you really want to take advantage of what's the hard drive inside the Xbox, then just move the game right back over from the external to the hard drive, so you get the advantage of that if you're playing that game currently. Is the way he's doing it before he got his 1 tera. So there's ways to get around that kind of stuff. You can always keep your external for all the storage and then move it around to your internal whenever you're playing the game.
Yeah.
And again, it's faster to just transfer, like minutes faster, like literally.
Yeah, but
Like,
who wants to play Tetris? Kills people just want to play game. They ain't trying to fucking organize shit, man. They're just
Candy
trying to
Crush
play their
Saga.
games. They don't want to fucking play, organize my fucking game collection. They want to fucking play the games, man. Trying to play the games, man.
Just
They
trying to
give
play
me
the
all the
game.
fucking space. I want all the space.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, that's that part of FOMO, I guess. It's like you're missing out.
Yeah, and I think
I need that space. Like, what games are you playing currently? Call of Duty. What else? Call of Duty.
Call
So
of
what do
Duty.
you need the space for? I need this
I
space.
need the space. All my clips, yo. All my clips.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Call of Duty itself, because that shit is big.
Yeah.
Pause. But
Yeah.
it's one of those. Yeah. It's. I'm glad, man. Finally, that news came out. Finally, it's gonna be. Hopefully, I'm thinking they pulled this article, so I'm thinking an official announcement will be coming soon. Maybe they do it June. During the E3 showcase, or way before then, because I think we have one more. Don't we have like PAX first? Before...
Yeah. Wait. Well, hold on. I gotta correct you real quick. I mean, you kind of jumping the gun, but you're talking about E3 and all that. E3 is a thing.
No. I'm saying like for the announcement, maybe they want to announce all that then or whatever.
Oh, I know. But you said E3 showcase.
I know.
Okay.
Because we haven't got to that time.
Yeah. No. Yeah. We got that. Yeah.
I'm amnesia till we get there.
Yeah. Forget chat. Forget that he said anything. We're gonna.
Oh yeah. Forget. But no, man. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna announce it really soon because it went to the Best Buy website. When I worked at Best Buy,
yeah.
When stuff like that reached our computers,
yeah,
like that wasn't out in the public yet. It was literally 2-week window because we already had the stock.
Sure.
Like the stock was already like it literally came in a truck.
Yep.
It was marked confidential.
Yeah, don't. It's like when they used to send us the fucking Call of Duties 2 weeks before the game fucking launched, and then with the orange tape, do not sell until 11/9/2011.
Sure.
Like the fuck.
Sure. Let pop it out. Let's play that over here in the back.
Yeah, that part.
But that's how it was like that when I worked at Best Buy years ago. It might have changed. I mean, that was years ago, but it used to be that way. We get the inventory. We load it into the system. We have to because you don't load that the same day it launches. We load into the system, and somehow it ends up leaking. Corporate leaks out. It's not that it leaks out. It's just they forget. Oh shit, we were not supposed to live on that just yet. And it goes out, and they forget the parameters, and it goes live.
And Best Buy employee A takes a fucking screenshot and like DMs fucking Tom or somebody and like
I got something for you, Tom.
I got something for you, yo. Don't mention me, but yo, here, yo, and then sources close. Yeah, please.
So yeah, man. Looks like they might be a review for it pretty soon, or official mention maybe this week, maybe as soon as this week. So we'll see
what happens.
Hopefully it's true and it's not just doctored image. But Tom Warren is really good about vetting his story. So before he launches them, so I'm sure this thing is real, especially since they pulled the website down or the page down. So that's usually a telltale sign of breadcrumbs leading to something big. So yeah, that's sad, man. I'm just happy.
And moving from one physical medium to another. So Xbox is helping indie devs to create physical versions of their games. Okay, here's the thing. So I didn't think about this before when we were talking about this because obviously my brother sent this through the group chat. So shout out to my brother, by the way, for helping supply topics. Of course, coming through. He's the true hero. But
he's a hero.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
So, is this Xbox basically saying? I mean, I don't know how much longer, and I know we've been having this conversation for a couple of years now, and you can even see this with this current generation of consoles that we have, where there's not only a physical version of said console, right? But then there's a digital version of the console, right? How much longer do you think we have? Because PC's already kind of done away with it. There's no
physical?
more. Yeah, of just physical medium where this is. Because I mean, I guess I get that there's a reason because we still have devices that allow for physical media for disc and stuff like that. So that
even then, because I got the X, you got the X now,
right?
I've not touched my disk drive on that. Ever.
This is, but outside of backwards compatibility,
and not touched it.
But that's what I mean. Outside of backwards compatibility, And that's because that's what I'm thinking about. When I'm thinking about physical media, I'm just thinking about, yo, can I play shit from like years
Anything, a
ago?
CD,
That's what.
a Blu-ray, or DVD,
Yeah.
or yeah.
I mean, just
I'm
reading at this article here. This was Pure Xbox, Fraser Gilbert. So here, just reading it down real quick. Microsoft is celebrating the 10 years at ID at Xbox program this week, and something we've learned in the process that the ID at Xbox team is trying to make it easier for independent developers to create disc versions of their games. In a post from Chris Carla maybe,
yeah, Tyler.
Carla at ID at Xbox Director yesterday on the official Xbox website. Carla mentioned ID at Xbox developers can make physical versions of their games with only a low minimum order of units required. So I guess that's cool because at the end of the day, I guess it's just getting the game into more people's hands. Like for people, I guess that are still on the I'm a physical media only person. So
Right, right, right.
I guess that's the answer to answer my own question before. But once again, it's still like I mean, even like what Denver was saying, and kind of like just even what I was alluding to, just how much longer do you think we have before we're just like, yo? I mean, I understand not everybody's
Honestly,
connected to the internet, but
I thought we would like this generation, this of consoles and the latest PC components that came out and everything. I thought we were already there. That we were the beginning of the end of physical, but it looks like there's enough demand in there for these guys to be like, you know what, we're gonna support these independents, not the major studios
sure,
because they got their own
they
goddamn
got their
money.
own shit publishing and
Right.
stuff. Yeah,
They
yeah,
got
yeah.
no publishing, licensing, and all that stuff. But as far as
Yeah.
the independent scene goes, it's I'm assuming it's pretty steep when it comes to like the overhead of doing physical media. Like, you know, the printing of the CDs, the jackets that go into the plastic covers, the plastic cover itself,
Yeah.
like the things that go into making a physical media format is probably expensive as hell. So there's enough demand in there because I see it all the time on social media when a game is announced. It's like physical copy when. You know, I see that from plenty of people
Yeah.
on my walls, like physical copy when. And I'm maybe a digital guy, and I get it. I don't see the benefits of a physical media. I understand the collectors are out there collecting. I see for
That's where that
me
makes sense. The
that
collecting.
makes sense there.
Yeah.
It makes sense there. But for me to just own, for me, I'm talking for myself, to own a physical media, have
Yeah.
a library of that just to collect dust when I'm not doing nothing. Like there's nothing. I understand the collector side of things. If you're collecting to turn it around and make it a legacy thing,
Sure.
and in future turn it around and be like a museum kind of, that kind of like bigger stories there. But if you're just buying them just to say, look at my library, I'm taking pictures with them. Look how big.
Yeah.
For me, I see dust everywhere. Like I see dust here,
Yeah.
dust there. That's what I see. I don't see a benefit of owning the physical side of things because with a digital, there's the sharing with my son. One
Yeah.
time we both played, I see that benefit there. Easily can like surpass physical rather than taking the physical disc out, putting them there. The other thing is wear and tear, right? There's no moving parts with a digital copy. It's literally reading off the internet and I'm playing it.
Yeah.
That's
As
it,
long as you have an internet connection, and I think that's also the other
Right.
point that I want to go to is that I mean, right now there's so many games that are just even if you get a physical version of a game, you still technically have to quote unquote download that game to your hard drive.
That part is it. That's
You're
the other
still
part
quote
that people don't
unquote
understand.
installing. You're not playing the medium.
Yes,
A
the
lot of the
disc don't
times
mean you know
too,
what that all that this is doing is holding a license.
it's giving
That's all
you
it's doing.
access to download the game, and you still technically, for majority of games now,
'Cause I don't think you
you
play off
can't.
disc no more, right? Like there's
I
no
mean,
real game out there
I
that
like I
plays over
said, I don't
disc.
want to speak in absolutes, but
True.
but you do not play the games off of disc. You still need to quote unquote install the games onto whatever device that you're using.
Yeah,
You
because
know what I
it's
mean?
not like before with the 360 era or
And
even
because of
early on
security,
Xbox One.
right? And
Yeah,
because of security checks and things like that, you have to be connected to the internet pretty much to play said games.
yeah, the
Like
DRM
for
part, man.
almost like all games, almost all of these games are connected online. You know what I mean? So the disc is like
Hmm.
just like that is like the license. I mean, and you look at it this way too, like the PS4 that I have upstairs, like I wouldn't be able to play almost any of the games that I have installed on there if it wasn't for my brother sharing his PlayStation account
Correct.
and
Correct.
doing that. And literally I
It
have
saves
access
money.
to
It literally saves a lot of money.
his entire library of games that I would have never been able to probably access on my own just without having the ability to share and stuff like that. And I think
Bro, this
remember,
is the first console cycle for me that I've 100% been digital. Like
yeah,
I only became digital towards the later half of or the end of the Xbox One era. Is when I started becoming more of a digital guy where I was downloading my games and I felt like, oh, I don't have to leave my home. I don't have to go to a
Bro,
GameStop.
I think,
I
and
can
we're also too way past the I'm gonna go wait at line at the GameStop
the
because I need the.
midnights and all that
Wait,
stuff.
nah, we
Yeah.
just the digital. Oh, this digital preload thing looks good enough. Cool. I'm fucking preloading it. 12 o'clock. You see me. The game's pre-installed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Like we're past that too. For the indie developer to get back on topic a little bit here, I guess it's cool because of the exposure and stuff like that. I mean, here,
Yes.
they say here
Yes.
just in quotations. Ironically, we've even enabled retail disc publishing for developers in ID at Xbox. Xbox's digital self-publishing program, retail program, is still in the pilot phase with a limited number of partners, but developers can make physical versions of their games with only a low minimum order quantity. So, like, they can maybe make like 1,000 copies probably,
Yeah.
or five,
Yeah.
like, you
They're
know what I
gonna keep it
mean?
really minimum. They're not gonna go crazy with it because that's
Yeah.
another thing. How many times do they overdo it with like back in the day? They used to overdo like when we were at that GameStop. How many physical copies used to get in of
Shit.
titles, and then they sit there for after the initial sale. They sit there because they degrade after like 6 months. The sales go down.
Yeah.
So it sits there. Physical copies that were made up in abundance sits there.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. It's like, what do we do? Do we do 100? Do we do 1,000? Do we do like how much do you really want to put out there?
Yep.
So keeping it limited, I think that's a good.
Well, remember too, and back then, all the retailers when you buy physical medium, all of those are spoken for already. Remember, and that's another thing that people don't
Correct. Yeah.
realize. Like when
Yeah.
Best Buy, when GameStop, when these companies, when your UK Game Store, when all of these places go out and buy physical copies of a game, whether it be Call of Duty or Madden or any of these games, those already counted as sales towards the publisher and towards whoever made those games. They're just counting on people going and buying all of those games to making, and a lot of the times too with physical, they're breaking even on it. They're
Well, that's why
hoping
we
that,
get the whole pre-order sheet. That's why it
yeah,
was really important back then for us to hold that pre-order sheet like in customers' faces. Like,
yeah.
if you want this game pre-ordering, then that list is the list that we turn around and ask the publisher of the game, hey, this is what I got on my list. I want to pay you for these many games, and then they ship those out.
It was
But that's not a
right.
guarantee. That's
It was
for
just
them, that's a guarantee.
right.
They get that money up front, but the store still had to sell those things.
It was just a way to get you into the store so you could hopefully feast your eyes on like other shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, so you could like
Yes.
be like, oh, I know you're here for this,
I
but
can.
can you
Mhm.
look over here for a second and see? Oh wait, oh you're GameStop. Oh wait, you're selling tablets now. Oh okay, cool. Oh wait, you could you could
Yep.
trade in cell phones now here. Okay, cool. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, oh, I
Yeah.
could buy a pop fucking cap and T-shirts and other shit here that you
Like,
know.
you like that hat?
Yeah,
Only for a lung and a liver, you get that hat. Trade it in, baby.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I
Arm and
mean?
leg, you get the hat. Yeah,
Right.
it's like, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
but
yeah, you want that T-shirt? Sell a liver. You get the
yeah,
T-shirt.
it's delivered. You get the T-shirt. GameStop points, you get it. You spend $1,000, get 5 points. Let's go.
I don't want to
No,
rag,
but
man. 'Cause-
the physical media part, I think it's a win for especially where the focus is on, which is the indie developer, because
Sure.
that cost is really, really high for the developer. And a lot of the times we get this a lot where these games are coming out where there was only one guy working on it.
Yeah.
He is the company.
Yeah.
He is a dev. He's the publisher. He's everybody. Doing the game, the creator, the writer, all that. So
Yep.
the cost could be expensive. I only wish that on a digital side, that savings was passed on to us, the consumers. Like, that's the part I do wish. Like, I wish that part, because it doesn't, obviously it's expensive to do physical media. On a digital side, you don't have to worry about a lot of
Right. The fact
cover
that you'll
art.
charge $70, I mean, and this is like for on the bigger side of things, you'll on a AAA title, you'll charge $70 for a physical game, and you'll charge the same $70 on a digital game. It's like, what the fuck?
Correct.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, where?
Yep.
Like, I didn't have to leave. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm buying
Like,
it directly
you didn't have to
from
ship it to
you.
me.
Right. You didn't have to
like,
stamp it on a disc. You didn't have to ship it to a manufacturer. You didn't have to. You're literally getting, the only thing that you're not seeing is like, whoever's like, whether it's Steam or whether it's Epic or whether it's PlayStation Store or Xbox Store, like they're taking their little percentage of the game sale, but you're getting
Mhm.
the rest of that fucking sale. So you couldn't like
Correct,
make
yeah.
it fight. No, can't do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
pass that savings to us, man. Like, lock it down to like $50 or $60.
Negative.
Or
Negative.
even regular 60. Whatever it was before, $60. Like, you could do that, but it's a standard, and people are willing to pay that standard. So as long as people are willing to pay for this demand, but to end that one, man, the physical side of things pretty cool. I don't know how many copies they plan on doing, but the fact that it's a pilot thing now. And they're gonna help all these developers, man. Xbox is about it, man. They're about helping out that indie developer. They've been doing it for years, man, and it's a good thing to see, because again, I see a lot of people physical win. It's a question they always ask. It happened with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles recently with the arcade game.
Yep.
That game came out, physical copy when, like, and people are out there still buying physical. I'm 100% digital.
Yeah.
I've been for this generation at least 100% digital. Now I think I'll continue being that because there's just too many benefits for me and my family to have the digital side of things other than hard copy of it.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. Good story.
Even Vodka here too found out for the price of digital Destiny expansion, physical got books, postcards, same price. That's what I mean. And a lot of the times too, and
I didn't look at it that way.
This is where and this is also where I wish too, if you buy a physical version of a game, they should give you a code for a digital copy. I'm on that train. Okay, yes. I'm on that train.
I'm with that, and then what Vodka's saying the other way.
Yeah.
If I'm paying the same price as physical copy and they're getting more content than me, I should be able to. You should
take my yeah. I'll pay for shipping, and you ship that, and you ship that special edition shit to my house.
Yes,
100%,
absolutely,
1000%,
hand in hand,
1000%. Fuck that.
I agree with that.
1000%.
Why are you getting more if we're paying the same price? Like if you're telling me I'm paying $10 less for the digital copy, I get it. Keep all that shit. You can have that. I get it.
Yep.
But if I'm paying what you pay physically and you getting more than me, bro, run that.
And I want, and maybe I want the physical disc to, or the case to show on my wall and to do all that shit. But I don't want the fucking. I don't want to use the disc. So give me the physical fucking code. Give me the code to go and
even
download
gotten to the
that
point
shit.
with the manuals they used to remember they used to have like the books inside of it that gives you instructions on the like it literally was a map in there.
That shit is that shit is a QR code now.
It's just a QR code.
That shit is a QR code. Go here. Go here if you want to. Yeah, go here if you want to learn anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's like wow, that's where we're at now. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
But I'm definitely for that, man. Like if I buy physical, same price. I want all the content if I buy digital, same price physical. I want all the content physical has, and also if I'm buying physical, I want me a digital code. Damn, DVDs do that or Blu-rays.
Yeah, Blu-rays do. Blu-rays give you digital. A lot of times Blu-rays will give you the digital version.
Copy.
Sorry.
And you got
eventually the gaming industry will fucking catch up.
Yeah, when
they're supposed to be they're supposed to be ahead of the curve, but eventually they'll catch up. It's exactly.
Multi-trillion-dollar fucking business. Okay.
Yeah.
Or industry, I should say.
Yeah. But yeah, man. But onto spending more money, I guess, or maybe not. I don't know, or confusion on how much money people are going to have to spend. I don't know. I think a lot of people went off the deep end with this one.
No, fuck confusion. A lot of people just went with the narrative and just kept it going. Like, look, listen.
Yeah.
I've been an advocate of this because it's our next story, and I'm assuming you're going to Gamepass.
Yeah.
Route. I'm an advocate of this. It's like, bro, if you see a headline, if you see a story, especially in this day and age, research, people. Please, like, go in there and deep dive this shit because you can't trust media no more, man. Just
go the little extra mile, like not even like the full mile, like not even the full mile. Go the quarter of a mile to fucking the extra tab. Open up, ready, guys? Ready? Look, see, I have a tab open. Extra tab, right? Google. It's your friend. It's your ally. It's your fucking ally, dude. Right, or if you're a Bing guy, ready? We got Microsoft. Here you go for our Bing people. Here we go. Bing. Bing away. Earn some fucking rewards while you're binging. Fucking bing away.
Bing away.
Bing away. Bing the fuck away. Because this was, the people off the fucking deep end. Okay, you would have thought this shit released on April 1st. You would have thought this was the fucking April Fool's joke.
Yes.
You would have thought this was the fucking April Fool's joke.
Wait, are we April 1st yet? It was.
Yeah.
I went nuts, bro. I saw the story, probably like, damn. $40, okay.
Yo, I can't believe that shit is $40, yo. Yo, that shit is crazy, yo. I can't believe that. That's too expensive.
Before I even did my little research, mind you, I was like, $40 is not expensive. It's what, $8? I got a family of 4. Five, or let's say 5 people are playing that Game Pass. It's $8 each. That still doesn't sound expensive, which is the way it's meant to be played. Or stay with your $15 a month and deal with it, right? That's
what I'm saying. That's easy shit. Like even if we did that, right? Even if you did that, right? You're still $8. That's still $7 less than what you would be paying for on an individual fucking membership. Even if it was 40, but guess what? When everybody was finally able to do the fucking conversions or realize, I mean, I know you sent this to me early, and that's why we'll play this here, because you did, the extra mile. You went on a flight, and you
Well,
flew.
my good friends in New Zealand, they invite me a lot of times
That's what I
over,
mean. So you
every now
frequent
and
flyer
again.
miles, so you got the
So I
ticket.
decided, guys, I need to go out there again, check some things out. Like,
Yeah,
come on, man, you're welcome. You're
right.
more than welcome. So I took the flight out
You
there. I
packed
was like,
the
let's take the flight.
Xbox. You took the flight out first. You
Yeah.
recorded here on the U.S. side things because it's still not available here yet. They're testing it everywhere else before they give it to our fucking greedy, uneducated asses. Because that's what we are at this point. I'm just seriously. Because that's another thing too. It's not like people from like overseas that were like fucked up with the
No,
pricing and
it's
stuff
us.
like that. It's
It's out
everybody
here.
fucking here that didn't understand that they were showing prices from New Zealand, and that if you fucking converted it, what does it work out to?
I'm glad you brought out that part right there. It almost feels like when this news pops out, it's always us here in America that we always tend to over exaggerate everything, and nowhere around the world is like going crazy about it.
People saw this with a little dollar sign next to it, and they were like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I mean, thank you for putting the NZ in the middle of the screen. Just to let people. If people, yeah, if you're physically watching this right now, or if you're listening and you can't see on the screen, I'm showing the Xbox menu. If you're in New Zealand right now, they actually have the options for the different subscriptions for Game Pass, and the first one that pops up now on the list, if you're in New Zealand, is Game Pass Friends and Family. Okay, 1 month for $39.99. That's in New Zealand currency. Okay,
Right,
so
because they use dollars, but it's New
Kiwis,
Zealand dollars.
Kiwi, New
Yeah.
Zealand dollars. Okay, ultimate benefits among 5 friends, open to players outside your household. Enjoy hundreds of games together. Every player uses their own account. Play at the same time on console, PC, and cloud. Always something new to play. I don't know why they added that. The last one is like, I don't know why they added it, but yeah, there is technically always
I didn't
something new to
record
play.
this part. I should have, but I did the currency converter. It's roughly $25 US dollars.
That's what I mean. It roughly works out to 25 US
Which
USD.
is what we've been predicting.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been predicting. That's what we've been predicting. That's what I mean, which is going to be $5 a fucking person. Great,
dude. But people just they like swan dive off the top of the whatever digital building they decided to swan dive off of, and I'm like, why? Why didn't you guys like? I can't stress this. The fact that we are running with like we know how bad these articles are. We know how IGN is. We know how what's that what's the other one that's like VGCT whatever.
VGC gets a little, VGC sometimes is good, but other times it's off the fucking deep end.
Yeah. Sometimes it gets off the deep end, especially and they like flaming the wars because with the whole chart with the number whatever. But we know how how they report these things, that we need to heed warning on everything and do your own research. Like the echo chamber is real, and we can't keep running with this narrative of whatever we see on the Twitter feed is real. So, especially when you have a lot of these gamers are really disingenuous and they have like this when you have a preference to something, it goes beyond the whole preference. It becomes a favoritism thing, and they want to make this true. Like, this is 40. Oh my God, I can't believe you. And it was literally one guy that did a screenshot of this.
Yeah.
Tweeted it out, and he did correct himself in the thread saying, like, hours later, oh, by the way, this is New Zealand. I just found that it's New Zealand.
Yeah. I mean, this was 847. This is
because he forgot he had it on New Zealand because he was playing Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. That was the one that I saw originally. I saw this. This was not a corrected tweet.
And ran with it. Like, oh shit.
8:47 a.m. Well, 8:47 a.m. Tom Warren. Well, not media so much, but it was people looking at what was being reported and not just doing the due diligence, because you have Tom Warren here, 8:47 a.m., March 31st. Hey, if you see reports of Xbox Game Friends and Family launching in the U.S. at $40 per month, this is incorrect. The pricing is for New Zealand. The service is not launching imminently in the U.S. When did we probably say now at this point? Like, I mean, I know we kept pushing the goalpost at this point, but they never set the fucking goalpost. We've been talking about this family and friends service now since the end of last year, when there were rumblings about it. Yeah, like that it was potentially coming and they're testing it. Now there's more countries that they keep adding to it and opening up to. I mean, I think it's fucking available in Colombia now and stuff.
In New Zealand, I think it's closer to being here.
Right.
Closer than we think.
But what's the stop? I mean, they're probably going to hold it more than likely, if you had to guess, until their showcase, and they'll probably launch it, and they'll probably not either soft launch it or they'll just fucking launch it during the showcase. Oh, hey, by the way, guys, if you update your Xbox or whatever, you can now go and subscribe, friends and family. Boom, here, big announcement. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm telling you, man, it's It's one. I think they are holding it close to vest so that they can probably announce it, like you said, at the showcase.
Yeah.
Maybe they have like a plan behind it where they want. And I don't want to sound weird here or jump the gun
We're
either. But
speculating. It doesn't matter.
maybe or
We're a
speculate
podcast. Let's
like the whole
speculate. We're not.
Activision. Well, the whole Activision deal, in June,
Uh-huh.
it could be official by June, that kind of stuff, and then
Right.
giving it that more power behind the family and friends. Like now, your friends and families can play Activision games and COD and all that. Like,
Right.
look
Right.
at this, for $30, or whatever the price is going to be,
Yep.
25. Your whole family can play this game or that game, and that prowess behind that power behind the marketing is always a good thing. So maybe they'll hold it off to then. But as far as this story is concerned, it's a non-story, man.
Yeah.
That people ran with and they went crazy, went overboard with it. It is New Zealand for $39.95 or $39.99. New Zealand price point, which even I don't know how life is in New Zealand as far as cost of living. I only stay there to play my game to leave. So I don't know what cost of living is in New Zealand.
You hang out there for like what, 18
I hang
hours?
out for a couple
for
hours,
a couple of hours
a
and
few hours.
Yeah. Jesus.
And then I move on.
Yeah,
But
and then you fly right back to good old Florida. Yeah.
And then come back to good old Florida. It's $39.95. Let me correct that. It is $39.95, 5 cents off. But I'm assuming that that's perfect for their cost of living out there.
Yeah.
And again, even if you did the math, by 5, I think it's $8 per person. The whole point of friends and family is to share this with friends and family. I saw one guy say, what if the family doesn't, what if your family is your kids and all that's expensive? And I'm like, well, that's your call though, because my kids are 18 and 21 or
Sure.
19 and 21.
Sure.
My wife is, my age, in her 40s. So it's like if we all played games, we all have jobs, everybody can pay $8 an hour.
Yep.
$8 a month. Like that's the call you gotta make at the end of the day, But if you're contracting friends outside of your circle of your house, outside of that, and you're contracting friends to be part of this, again, you have to be held liable for this. Like you have to hold them accountable. Like you have to say, hey, bro, your $8, your $5, whatever it is, has to come through.
And remember, we had this conversation because we've talked about this in quite a few pods already. You could go back, and we've already had those conversations. Like you're not just gonna let fucking Joe Schmo inside of your thing. Like it's gonna,
not.
it's just like you're gonna talk to people.
I just met this person on Xbox the other day. I'm gonna go ahead and, bro, you want to be part of the plan? I got you.
Yeah,
no, that's not how it works. Bro.
That's not how it's gonna go. So
no. I'm pretty sure though the cogs are turning in some people's heads about this plan and how they're gonna try to hustle the shit out of it.
Yeah,
there's probably some plan on that with some people, but no, man. Obviously you want to bring in some trustworthy people that you've had in your life for one, and are about that life. So, and obviously they got to be gamers. They can't be casuals and be like, I'll play a few games here and there. Because here's the thing: if I'm trying to get you on the plan with me, so you can help me with the costs, you definitely got to be someone who plays Game Pass. Like, it's got to be
worth it for you, right? If you're not
it's got to be there's got to be a value that you have for it. Because if you don't, chances are that you won't be paying me. Because if you don't have a value attached to it, if you feel like it doesn't do nothing for me, why pay me $8 or $5 or whatever it is?
Yep.
You're gonna convince yourself, nah, you know what? I didn't play it much. So, and now here we have this awkward discussion among friends, like, oh, I didn't pay because it is. You still got a whole month out of it, whether you played it or not. Well, but then that conversation has to happen. It's like it's weird, but make sure you get people that are like heavily involved in playing video games on Xbox and Game Pass.
Yeah.
Just somebody who's trying it out, and we'll see, and maybe I'll pay you, maybe not. But yeah, man. I'm glad we were able to clear that out for those listening in and watching live, and for those who are listening on the audio. That was a New Zealand price, $39.95, which has launched the Game Pass Friends and Family in New Zealand. I, for one, am looking forward for it to launch in the US because I think that's a beneficial. In my family, that benefits a whole lot. Everybody here has an Xbox, so.
Listen, I already told my we're already like locked into it. Like before, we just gotta, you know what I mean? Find out, see who else, where it makes sense and shit like that.
We might just do, we got to get together because we might just. It could be you, Draven, me, my son, and we're good for it. I mean, I don't want to talk like that, but
we gotta just work out to see who it makes sense for or whatever, and who needs it and stuff like that.
I'm all for the open up a cash card just for that specifically, and we all dump money in there.
Well, whoever's gonna, but like I said, it's not gonna. But see, that's what I mean. And this is the conversation. And guys, listen, this is the conversation that people are going to be having gamers are going to
Mm-hmm.
be having all over, like trying to figure out, like, all right, who's going to be the main account? Who's
Yeah.
going to be the main account holder? Who's the most responsible out of the group to
I
make
don't
sure
want that
that
shit,
the
yo.
ship? Because
I don't want
that's
to
the
be
thing about it.
responsible.
Whoever, and that's another thing too. Before we switch off to our next topic, is that whoever's the main account holder, all the liability for what needs to get paid is on them. It's not like it's a group thing where
Right,
everybody
right.
just puts in their portion.
Microsoft don't give a shit where the money comes
No,
from
it
as long as
just
they get their money.
as long as they get their money, but they're always going to be charging the main account holder,
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
and then that person is responsible for seeing who's on, who's off. So that's another thing too. Don't join up with somebody that you know is a dick, and that if you have a fucking gaming disagreement
Right.
with, they're gonna do some shady shit and fucking take you off, and you sent them money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's just
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we'll have that conversation offline or whatever, but that's definitely something a conversation we should have because we got money and your brother, you, me, my son, daughter's on that heavily now.
Like I said,
Can't believe
even if me and my brother just rocked out and did that shit, it would still make sense for the
it's
two
to
of
be
us because we're
cheaper.
still saving $5 between the two of us. Even if you know what I
Yes,
mean, so it's like
absolutely.
it still
Even
makes
if yeah,
sense.
you're right. You're right. Even if it was just me and my son, you're right. Even if it was just me and my son doing
It
it,
still makes
at
sense.
25,
It's still
that's what
cheaper.
750. No, 750. What am I? What's my bad? That's 10,
You're
eleven
saving two.
fifty each.
Yeah, but
No,
right,
where am I?
exactly.
What's my math?
You're saving $2.50 per person
Like
because instead of playing
12
50.
50
Yeah,
each. Yeah.
yeah.
That's $25. Assuming it's $25, that's 12
Assuming
50
it's
each.
$25. Yeah.
You're saving $2.50.
Yes.
Literally a month. Like, okay, I'll
Yes.
take that savings. It might be small to you, but it's big to me.
That's what I'm saying.
Pause again. Fuck. But yeah, man. That's the Game Pass F&F pricing.
Yeah.
F&F pricing.
Yeah. I couldn't listen. Sometimes YouTube gets weird with fucking titles. And I'm thinking F&F, and like what the first thing that came to my mind when I typed F&F for the title?
Final Fantasy.
No, Fast and Furious. But
Fast and Furious.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So no, it's not Game Pass Fast and Furious pricing. It's Friends and Family.
Friends and Family.
It's Friends and
And
Family.
remember, guys, whenever you feel like these stories sound kind of weird, Bing it.
Yeah,
Bing
and,
it.
and Bing it. I really hope
Bing
that
it.
does. I really hope that doesn't catch on. That's gonna be weird.
Bing bong. Bing it.
Bing bong.
Enough with the Game Pass. I had to we had to talk about that. But enough of that. I'm from pricing to what?
Let's talk about E3, man. I guess we gotta talk about E3. Fucking shit, man. Listen, here's the thing. Did we not like? I don't want to be. I don't want to sound callous, right? I really don't. I don't want to. I don't want to sound callous. But this was one of those like. I mean, I know I also don't sound like fucking Nostradamus, like where it's like, oh, I could have told you this was happening, because I fucking really couldn't have. But
I told you so.
yeah, I'm not gonna be an I told you so either. But also, it's like I told you this earlier in the week when we found out about this. I'm upset because I never got to attend one. And it sucks because I was like, fuck, like this would have been cool. Like, shout out to everybody that was able to actually go to one. That's dope. And listen, not for nothing, I still feel like there's going to be
was
events.
sharing his memories.
Yeah, I seen that him 108
with Dragon.
Yeah, 108. Like Tim Dog put out a picture as well too.
Yes, Dog, like the memory. We forget this thing. Man, go ahead, man. I got my say so on it.
It's just so it's like E3 as a gamer always meant a lot. That was always like, I used to years ago, I used to make sure there were certain things, you take off days, whenever like new games would drop and stuff. I used to take off the days around E3 so I could sit at home and watch the fucking conference, and always watch, and it was dope. It started getting whacked for me when a lot of even though it's like I might not have owned a PlayStation, but I like to see the games that were being showcased at PlayStation. So it sucked when they were like, all right, I'm done. And then when Nintendo was like, all right, I'm done. And then it was like, and then Xbox was like kind of like the only one left, and then everything happened with the pandemic and stuff like that, so it made sense. And they tried to get it to go last year, and they couldn't do it. And then now it's like, then they announced that they were going to get it this year, but they just didn't garner enough support. But it's like, but also, too, when you hear about, because, I think it was, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, maybe, where the report came out that Ubisoft was like, we ain't go to E3. Like,
oh, that was this week, but 2 weeks ago was Tencent and Sega.
Yeah, so we're talking about, these are big publishers, man. This isn't Tencent, one of the biggest gaming publishers in the world. Sega's
Mm-hmm.
still giant game publisher. You know what I mean? Like Nintendo also not like not only do you not have the big names there, but then it's like you're trying to do all that. So it's like you're still selling tickets. You got to have all these booths. What it costs to actually rent out the LA if they're still doing it at the LA
Yep.
Convention Center, the amount of money that I'm sure LA is fucking charging or the convention center is
Oh,
charging just
bro.
to
Woo,
host
I can
this
only
event
imagine. Yeah.
couldn't even begin to
A full week,
imagine
right? That's a whole week. That event is a whole week.
couldn't even begin
It
to
starts like on a
imagine.
Thursday, Friday, and ends like on a Tuesday or something.
And what probably happened is they were probably looking at the tickets that they were selling, like or whatever. They probably just weren't
Yeah.
selling a lot of tickets and stuff. They were like, "There's no," and then you kind of see developers just backing out of it, publishers backing out of it, and they're like, "But why the fuck are we doing this?" I still
Yeah.
think there's going to be, and we'll talk about at the tail end of this, how this is like it's it sucks. But it's also like some other people found ways to take advantage of this situation, and like I said, we'll talk about that towards the end of this. Um, yeah, it just fucking the most opportune fucking timing ever.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Let that
like
be.
I don't mind the digital shows now. I mean, I think it would be cool to get to like an Xbox showcase one day.
Well, we've advocated that on this show where like when the Microsoft one happened, the Direct, like I was like, okay, even with the Nintendo Direct style,
Yeah,
I like that style. Don't get me wrong, I like those type of styles. It delivers news, it's excitement, it's
yeah,
flashy. I get all that, but just like you, man, I'm old school to the point where E3 was a big deal, man. It was exactly that where I would plan my vacation time around the E3 showings and take vacation days off just to watch the presentations and that kind of stuff. And just like you know, when Sony pulled out, when Nintendo pulled out, Nintendo first and Sony, it was sad. I may not be on that ecosystem, but I still wanted to see the games. I still wanted to see what they got going. It's one of those competition kind of things, like one up in each other. Who won this year's thing?
yeah. I mean, which
I
is
remember
always
way
cool.
back the booth babes. Remember those days where
Yes,
they had booth babes and that kind of stuff and merchandise that they would give out on the show floor. And
yeah,
again, just like you, I had the dream or the goal, I should say, of actually going there, and it almost came to fruition before the COVID happened, where literally I was in process of looking at ticket prices and I had the money in my hand to buy these things, and then COVID happened. And for me, it's just like you. And for many others, it's sad that this got canceled, and it's like second year now, third year in a row that there's no E3. And it's one of those things where it's like I have to come into realization this may never happen. I may never get
yeah,
an opportunity, or we may never get an opportunity or a chance to literally go to E3.
yeah.
This might be
And
what we know E3 used to be.
right.
I mean, listen, they'll probably come back. There has to be some changes to this, complete overhaul to how the format of that show is, because we
Where
now
they
live in a
do it,
digital
how it's
world.
done exactly.
Yes.
More
Um.
hybrid shows and things like that, and
Right.
kind of because I think it's still cool to do
So yeah.
hands-on stuff, man. I think that's still a cool
Hey,
thing.
I'm there. I'm definitely there. It's the reason why people go to Best Buy first before they buy on Amazon. They want hands on.
Yeah,
But these conferences are exactly that, man. It's a cornerstone to the industry. It brought a lot as far as the Super Bowl. It was a Super Bowl for gaming. It was where
yeah,
we
for
got our new
sure,
game announcements.
for sure.
And then we get to, if you went to the show, you got to play them hands on. Again, we live in a digital age now, so they're gonna have to like transform it somehow and reinvent themselves, which is something I'm an advocate for, because again, I like the direct style of showings.
Yeah,
It's just it's one of those things. It's not the same to have a digital event over having an in-person event. That energy just seems different. But like E3 as we know it, the way it used to be, that has to be done by now.
it's
They're gonna have to reinvent themselves and do
yeah,
something.
it's also it's a sign of the times because at the end of the day,
Correct.
it's like publishers and developers alike, like it. You can't tell me that that they've been able to justify it's like spending the amount of money they'd have to spend to not only have demos and things like that like ready to go on like splices of their games and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that ready to go like
That's the
on
other
the
thing, the
floor.
time-consuming
How
part.
much right? How much
Yes.
money they have to put out, and because at the end of the day, not for nothing, E3 is marketing. E3 for what it's
Yes.
worth is literally marketing for the gaming industry. It's to show the gaming world what
Absolutely.
everybody is working on. But if they could do that from a fucking self, like if they could do that and express that same type of excitement or hype, and it's not the same, and I'm not going to try to make that that assumption. But like, if they could still get even a fraction of that to come across you, like while you're watching on a fucking cell phone or watching a direct or watching something like that, like, I mean, yeah, I think people would be hype if they were able to play like the new Zelda before it came out in May. But that trailer also got everybody and their mother hyped for the new fucking Zelda
Yes,
without
yes,
having
yes.
the big fanfare of playable demo or something like you know what I mean. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
people. I think even though people probably they might on at least on the Xbox showcase side, might get a hands-on demo of Starfield maybe if they go to the showcase. You know what I mean? But like it's gonna be up to those individual
That could
companies
be.
to
Yep.
do stuff like that. I'm still like relying on things like even like Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, New York Comic Con,
Hmm.
PAX, all the PAXs and stuff like that, the smaller events. I think that's where a lot of those events are still going to shine because those are still grassroots events that are
Hmm.
really based on their communities and stuff like that. Even though their sole focus sometimes isn't gaming, it's more so that community aspect and stuff like that. The PAXs though tend to be. I think that's what I'll probably try to look forward to as like a way to do it. I mean, I'd still love to like maybe go to like an E3 showcase one year, out of there and stuff. And like you were saying too, I think E3 eventually does return to some extent. Um, but also it might not because you might see somebody, and this is, I guess, where the other part of this coin comes in. Good old Jeff Keighley, our Lord and Savior,
Hmm.
our Lord and Savior Jeff Keighley has come out, and I have this
That
bookmarked
man
here
could not.
actually.
He could not fucking wait to tweet that shit out,
Never,
man.
never misses an
An
opportunity.
opportunity. Nope. That
Never.
man said, "Oh shit!" Within the same hour, just tweeted this shit out. Like, God, you could have waited at least a day,
I
man.
mean, it was
There
one
was
of
no need
those
to rush
like
it
it was
out.
one of those like I'm sad, but oh, by the way, yo, my shit is
Yeah, yeah. Don't forget,
yeah,
my shit still exists.
don't forget, yo, my shit is here. Summer Game
Hmm.
Fest, like that's the new. Oh, by the way, too, Troy Baker, 47. Happy birthday, Troy Baker.
Happy birthday,
That
Troy.
was April 1st, right here.
Hmm.
Like we get this one, 15-year-old me at first ever E3, 1995. E3 meant so much to me and so many of you too. 4 years ago, I realized. So this. Remember when I
Like
told you?
that could have been what he did. Like this, like talking about the memories and how he started his career, all
Yeah.
that kind
No,
of stuff. That could have been the game.
This came after everything.
They did.
This
After
literally
he
came
tweeted out, "Hey,
after
by the way, the
every
summer showcase is still a thing. We're gonna celebrate games." And then this, like, no, it's the other way around,
like
buddy. You should
my
have said this and then say, "And by the way, our show's still happening." You
you
know?
know, 4 years ago, I realized E3 wasn't evolving as it needed to compete in a global
They didn't need to say
digital
that.
world. So
They did not need to say that.
he fucking did. But this is what I mean. This guy literally. So remember, I told you I'm not Nostradamus. Like, he fucking thinks like that's it. He saw the tea leaves. He read the tea leaves and said, you know what? Nah, my shit right here. See
Yeah.
you at Summer Games Fest June 8th. But remember, that came out after all. Like I'm telling you, when he was shooting this fucking
Like
tweet
he
out,
could
he
have
was gloating.
stopped
He was
at
gloating.
my memories of 15 years. Stop. Full stop. That's it. You're done. Don't continue writing more. And then he wrote the digital, and I knew then it was dying. And I was like, come on, bro. Like you didn't know shit then.
Yeah.
Stop with this cap. Like, oh, I knew it was dying then. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't know it was dying then.
Yeah.
You just got mad because you wasn't part of the main thing. And so
So
like there's a story to be told that a lot of people need to look into when it comes to Jeff Keighley and the whole industry. There's a lot going on there
sure.
that people don't know, but it come on, man, it's gloating. He gloated. It was one of those tone deaf. I want to say, is it tone deaf? Read the room.
To a certain extent, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But at the end of the day, but listen, at the end of the day, Summer Games Fest is going to be, if you're looking to like find out anything, I mean, because it's all over the place. It's going to be more or less. It's not. I wouldn't say it's not VGA standards but it's going to be what it is. Like some
No.
just
It's like
look
a
at
brand. Like for instance, if Microsoft becomes part of it, it'll be where it's like, presented by the Summer Games Fest.
yeah.
That kind of stuff. It won't be like a E3 thing where it's like they go to a space and go, we're presenting from this space. No,
Yeah.
it's just
But
presented
they
by.
have a space though that they end up doing and whatever. Even though a lot of it is online as well, but he does like a whole hybrid show with Summer Games Fest, so that's the
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
So listen, there will be game trailers shown there as well. I'm gonna miss. I mean, not that I really tuned into it, but a lot of the times at E3 they had their own PC showcase as well too. Like what's next in PC,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
cool because they used to show a lot of different PC stuff. Obviously, gonna miss out on that. But also too, for what I pay attention to in gaming and stuff, I think, and we've talked about this on the podcast. Specifically like for Xbox, even Nintendo, and even Sony, like Sony State of Play, Xbox developer directs, Nintendo directs. Like at the end of the day, it's like, if you want gaming news, you're gonna get them straight from the horse's mouth. At the end of the
Yeah,
day,
yeah, yeah.
at this point,
I mean, we're staying in. We're still gonna get trailers, breaking news, maybe surprises here and there during the June showcases. We're still gonna get all that.
yeah,
That's not going away. That's still going to be a thing because that is a prime, I guess, prime month for these type of stuff to be announced during the
yeah,
summertime, right before the summer because summer's not official till the 20 something. But
yes.
we're still gonna get all that news. He's been doing this for quite some time now, like 5-6 years, maybe longer. I'm not sure. The Summer Games Fest.
Yep.
Again, it's not like what you said. It's not the VGA thing or TGA or whatever they want to call it now. It's not that, but it is like a presented by kind of thing. It is in Timbers. It's funny. He's right. The man uses the Microsoft Theater for it.
Well,
So
they
it's
call it. Well, he said here, so kicking off live from YouTube Theater. So I don't know if they renamed that
they
theater.
renamed it or I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they renamed it because
They probably renamed it.
yeah, YouTube Theater.
Because Microsoft don't own the
It's still
theater.
it's still in it's still in LA. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still in LA though. That's all I know, which is fine. I mean, either way,
Yeah.
whether it
I'm
be
just gonna
nice.
miss the whole. I mean, to me, it's all nostalgia because it is a hell of a drug. I'm all about the whole, the back in G4 TV days and how the
Yeah.
breakdown.
Well, that was the biggest thing. Who do you watch it from? Did you watch IGN's coverage? Did you fucking watch G4's coverage? Did you watch?
Time,
I mean, I used to. I mean, I remember watching G4's coverage a lot. And that was the big thing.
Morgan Webb and Adam Sessler, the way they
Yes.
broke down shit, it's like, come on, man. Like what's his name? Pereira? What's his name? The
Yeah.
other guy, like these guys were
Yeah.
awesome at doing what they do, and they didn't just talk about they were geeks like us, like nerds. They would dress up in dumb costumes and play a part, and
Right.
talk the game, and like it's just it was fun, It was a fanfare. There you go.
Yep.
Fanfare. They made it a whole fanfare thing. Even though I was at home watching this, I felt like I was part of the show. I think that magic is gone because everything now is like really, really like separated from that whole personal experience.
Sure.
Like they're not really reporting on that aspect of it. It's just here's a trailer, here's a date, if there's a date, and move on. Like that's the part that became more with the digital space. It became more like more relevant these days when it comes to like showing off games. The personal touch is not there. It won't be there no more, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, even though, like I said, and as far as like, because I just remember E3 obviously just being like that big, spectacle, obviously, and stuff like that. Not to say that's what I necessarily need, because I think that's a thing. And I think more so, because you can't want your cake and eat it too, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's like, we want news whenever they're ready to give us news. Sometimes they're not ready to give us news right away, but in, like some of the, like specifically with Microsoft, for example, we wanted news more frequently on stuff that they have coming out at earlier times instead of waiting all the way until June. What do? Developer direct. You know what I mean? And then specifically, it's like, okay, we want news on, Starfield. What do? Well, right before our Xbox showcase, here's a direct specifically on Starfield. You know what I mean? Like literally right before. They're just fucking running back to back. And that's how we're going to get news. Oh, you want information about new stuff coming out for Sony? Here's a state of play. However, whatever. You want new information about Nintendo? Here's a Nintendo Direct. That's how it's press releases. It's press releases, and it's these videos that are already pre-recorded and stuff like that. Xbox One, I don't know, because in COVID, like, obviously it felt like that one was like pre-recorded during the COVID time ones, the Xbox showcase.
Definitely.
I don't know if they'll do it live now because there's still a lot of stuff going on with it. To get like maybe that feel for it and stuff.
I don't think they announced if it was a live. I mean, I'm sure it's probably even if it's live. I don't know if they announced the audience part of it. Like, they usually have an audience with the live.
Right,
So I don't
that's
know
what
if
I
they
mean.
announced all that stuff. Yeah.
But I mean, I think that would be cool because obviously I think it's cool here in the trailers. But I think that part is kind of cool. It's like when there's a new game trailer or a new announcement or something like that, and then you could hear the crowd in the background of like fans, and they fucking roar, and it's like, oh my god! Like I think that's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true.
Hold on one second. Take over if you can. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Chat. I'm solo dolo. Chat. But I will say this about Jeff Keighley. What a schmuck. All right. That's what I have about Jeff Keighley. He's a schmuck. Like coming out with that at the end like that. Like there was no need for it. But it is what it is, man. E3 will be missed, and it's current state. I know I'm not dumb. I'm not naive. I know it needs changes. It needs to get with the time. Everything's digital space now. I'm just gonna miss the like I said before. I'm just gonna miss the part where it felt like it was a fan service. It was for us. Whether it be the talking of the games on G4 TV back in days and on IGN when they ran it, or even
I'm back.
Twitch, that kind of stuff. Like I'll miss those type of days. That's just
Yo, yo.
yeah. I hate it. That's just my E3 things, man. But yeah,
Oh.
I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah, man.
In its current state,
Yeah, man, for sure.
especially the fact that I might never ever get a chance to get out there and see, whatever it
Yeah,
becomes.
or whatever iteration it is. But like there is other,
Because it
like
might
I
just
said,
be digital going forward,
right,
just
and
completely digital.
I'll definitely look forward to other things though, like other stuff they got going on. Like it'll definitely make me keep a closer eye on like the PAXs and stuff like that. PAX
Oh yeah,
East,
yeah, yeah,
PAX
definitely.
West, and stuff like that for sure. And
Yeah,
just
I know
keep her
we,
tuned
we
to
probably
that.
won't ever get this either, but I really wish we get back to at least 1 year where all three major companies like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft has like, the way it used to be where they came out and did their thing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Saturday, whatever days they pick.
Yeah,
I get why they're not doing that no more because it's on their time. They want to introduce stuff to us, not on industry time. I get that. It
yeah,
allows them time to let the game breathe and cook before they show it off, and they're not on this time frame thing with vertical slices and dedicating teams to a demo. I get all that, but I wish at least 1 year out of like the next 5 or whatever that they would do that. They would get back and get back to that format because I've really missed those days, man. Where Nintendo was one day, you watch that like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then the next day you get Sony, and it's like, wow, this is they really went all out on this. The next day you get Microsoft, you go and you water again. It's like, I miss that. Like, give us that once every 5 years, something like I don't know, get together and be like, hey, kumbaya moment again. We're doing this.
yep,
I don't think it's ever gonna happen again because where we at today in the competition side of things. But yeah,
right.
be cool. Be cool. But yeah, man, that's E3. But yeah, we as well. We part because we said this before. We like the direct approach. We like it. It's a good format. It's a good way to show off games, especially the way the Xbox did their very first one. It was really hyped. It was very well paced.
Yeah,
It was well paced. I like how they paced it, and then they dropped that bomb on us with the drop of Hi-Fi. So it was good. It's
oh
good
yeah,
pacing and things. And Nintendo Direct's been doing it for a few years now. So they were the first ones to leave E3 and do the direct thing, and they're successful with that stuff, man. I mean, like Logic said, they showed off Zelda, just showed off a demo, and went like have everybody going crazy about
yeah.
it. And no matter how dated the damn game looks and how old the tech they're
And
using on that thing
and the
is,
system and whatever like that, it's like
it don't matter, bro. We are hyped for a Zelda game.
yeah,
It's crazy.
just Nintendo doing Nintendo things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man.
All right, that's E3, man. I'm sad now.
It's all right. I'm gonna pick up your spirits right now with this next topic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick your spirits right the fuck back up. Ready
What
for
do we
this?
got next, Logic?
Yeah, I swear to God, there's no fucking way. I remember seeing. There's
Man.
no fucking way.
It's the first time I've ever seen this. I've never, ever in my life of my 44 years, going on 45 years, 30 of those being gaming, that I can remember. I've never seen a game do this.
I mean, I don't want to sound like it's exaggeration, but maybe did I miss something initially? Like when we did, did I miss? I mean, and there's there's a whole breakdown. We're gonna get really into it, here, but dude, like,
I did not know, and I'm in the camp of I did not know this shit was a beta. I knew there was a beta for it.
yeah,
But when it launched on console, I did not know it was a beta.
I thought that was the early that was the
But
X.
here's why I didn't think that was a beta. You can literally go to the store and buy microtransactions. You could buy skins, season passes. They had a whole $100 vault or whatever the hell they called it, bundle for this game where you would pay $100 and it came with seasons for it. Like, I think it was like 4 seasons or something like that. They only got 2 seasons in. And they announced that they're pulling this game until next year.
They're shooting for early 2024.
We know what the fuck that means. They're shooting for it. That's a moving goalpost. They're shooting for it. They can always say they're shooting for early, whatever. But is it really going to hit that mark? Like, the game didn't play like a beta. When I played it, I played a lot of, I played it with Nick, and I played the game, even though I had a different, like, the way I played it was for a different reason.
Yeah.
But I played it regardless, and it didn't feel broken to me. It didn't feel beta to me. It didn't feel nothing. It just seems that it's weird, but because it comes in the heels of the reports of the game numbers dropping. Like the people playing it dropped dramatically.
Sure.
And it's not really being played as much. And then in the heels of that, it's when this news comes. Oh, and by the way, we are, thank you for playing the beta. ... We are gonna turn it off now until next year. Early ...
Here's my thing. If you come out and your intentions are, and you actually state your intentions as, hey, because I remember hearing the first time that I ever heard about this game was people saying that they were playing it early, like on console. They got invited to play it and stuff. I remember signing up for one of those early play test things and getting access and stuff. And then they released it. For some reason, though, and maybe it's just my brain just not functioning properly, I don't remember them really using that term open beta or even on the launch, like, you know what I mean? I don't remember that.
The only thing relevant to that would be the early access, which I remember that because they were inviting people, like you said, they were inviting people to play the game. I remember that. That part right. I remember. The open beta early, or not early, but open beta, never. I don't remember that. I don't even remember a graphic on the game that said that.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I don't even know right now, because even when you look them up in Steam charts, like I just looked this up in Steam charts right now, like, if this is, I don't know which one, it could actually be, because here, like, this is funny. Technical test, it's not even coming up. Because it's listed right, MULTIVERSUS Season 2, which you would think that's the actual all-time peak. Yeah, so this is it right here. This is how many people are playing on Steam right now as of 26 minutes ago.
Well, that's another thing. Technical test. You're doing technical tests in a beta? Is it the beta a technical test?
I thought the beta is the technical test, but this is what I'm talking about. Like, you literally had, and once again, if your intentions were set from the beginning, yeah, no, I get it. But like, so here, July, right?
That's a crazy drop. By
average players.
Yeah. An all-time peak, drop it to 677. That's
August. September.
The numbers dropping. They steadily dropping every month. They drop and drop and drop and drop. No sustainability.
And this is PC. I'm literally not even. Has nothing to do with PlayStation, Xbox, or I think.
Enjoy that movie, man. Can't wait to watch that movie myself. D&D.
Oh, nice. Yeah. This was on Switch as well too, or no? Am I bugging?
Yes, it's on Switch as well.
Right. So like you had it on all the major. It's on
all the major ones, yeah.
All the major consoles and PC, and the numbers there, and just you're pulling it like you said, probably because of the player base, and then what are you doing exactly? So they say here. So this is a full breakdown. So Tony from Player First Games here today on behalf of the entire Multiverse team to say thank you for support during our open beta. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
We've been excited to see the interest and enthusiasm from the community, and your feedback has been invaluable. We continue to be humbled by the awards the game has received and excited to see enjoyment that MULTIVERSUS has brought to players. Throughout our open beta, we've been working hard to build the best gameplay experience. We appreciate all the inspiration you've given us. Our open beta has been an important learning opportunity for us and a stepping stone to the next phase of MULTIVERSUS. We know there's still a lot of work to do, and as a result, we have a clearer view of what we need to focus on, specifically the content cadence of new characters, maps modes to give you more ways to enjoy the game, along with updated netcode and more matchmaking improvements. My problem is, why can't you do all of this while keeping the game still up?
That's part right there. If it's an open beta and you're taking this feedback, why take it down?
Work on the game. Yeah.
Work on the game. Everybody has done this, man. Cyberpunk didn't go offline to fix itself and come back. And I understand it's a whole different genre. I
Sure.
get it. It's a whole different thing. But games they don't normally do, they don't, well, I wouldn't say do this. Not even normally. They wouldn't do this.
Look
Like,
what
I'm
Dimber
going to
just
pull
said.
the
There was a
plug on it.
$100 season pass for the
It
game,
was.
bro. There's
That
no
offered 4 seasons. They've only
that
done
people
2.
that people paid, and then they got the characters. I remember this. I remember people. I remember when this game
No.
first fucking like quote unquote launched, like officially launched, and people were talking about, yo, I got to get these characters. I gotta buy this pass. I gotta buy it because it was like that $40 version. There was like all
Yeah.
these different versions that
Bro, it's
people
the
were
Battlefield
buying.
2042 effect. I bought the $100 bundle of that game, and you telling me that you're gonna pull the plug on 2 seasons? No, no, no. You're gonna give me 4 fucking seasons. Like, all my money back. That's just the same thing. Like, it's an unbelievable. It's called the Founders Pack. That's what it was called. The Founders
Yes, the
Pack.
founders
It was
pack.
$100 for this thing, and people went in on it and said, "I like this. I want to," because they played on the whole Smash Brothers genre. Let's just get that out there. And it's all
Yes.
WB with all WB characters. They again, microtransactions. The store was live, so they were making money off of a beta. To tell me, guess what, guys? We're going offline. We're gonna come back early next year. Oh, is that so? So I want my money early this year. I mean, I didn't buy the game, not me. So I can't. I don't have that horse in the race. But as a gamer, it's really cruddy and really off-putting that a developer goes, we're first and foremost making it publicly. We're calling this an open beta. And second, thank you for your feedback, as if that's what the beta is. That's what the beta is about. But now we're gonna take it offline and not have you play the game for a while.
Bro, they had no problem charging people for
At all.
season passes and for
At
these
all.
and access and all of this stuff, and then to pull it, and then I mean, I guess
This
I
is the
guess you
part
could
that has
make.
to be very, very transparent from get.
Yeah.
Has to be very transparent that you're gonna do this to gamers, because especially this kind of a move, it's unprecedented. Like, nobody's ever done this to the gaming community. That the trust there, you're starting to create that untrustworthy part in the industry. You don't want to do that. Like, it starts here, and in the future, what, like Cyberpunk did it now, where like we're gold, and then we're delaying it after it went gold. That's one. Now we got this. It's an open beta. We're gonna pull it until early. You're fucking with the community, with the gaming community's trust.
Yeah.
That part is hard to gain in this community. Is hard to gain that. It's a lot of hard work goes into gaining our trust from a community to do this. It's the snowball effect, If one game did it, now this game doing it. It's getting crazy out there, where you're telling me that you literally charge people $40, $100 season passes and skins, and took that money. Thank you for your feedback. We're putting it offline now. What are you doing with my money? Where will that money go?
It went to the future development of the
Oh,
of the game, right?
and,
Right.
they, and they're
That's
not gonna refund it. And they're not. Nope, Timber. They're not refunding it at all.
so right here. So a lot of work to do. Focus on content. So said all that. Netcode will also be reworking the progression system based on your feedback, looking at new ways for you to connect to your friends in the game. So basically, you paid to just be a fucking beta tester, but you weren't told
Absolutely.
that they were going to shut down the servers. Because that's another thing too. Like this game, like offline access. Like I'm sorry to be that guy, but who the fuck plays LAN? I mean, I know there are people that play LAN. Shout out to Turpin here. And
No, the
and
people that
people,
play
you know
land,
what I
but
mean?
it's
Like
not it's the minority. Unfortunately, it's the minority. People that play land.
like majority of the people, like every time I played this game, I was playing online. I was playing online. To do the
Mm-hmm.
right to do this the right way, we'll be closing the Multiverses open beta on June 25th, 2023. As part of the process, we'll be pausing updates and taking the game offline as we prepare for launch Multiverses, which we are targeting for early 2024. I'm sure you're wondering what this means for you. During this downtime, all online modes and features will be unavailable. You'll have limited
Totally.
access, limited offline access to the training room, known as the lab, local matches, along with access to your characters and cosmetic items within these modes. We do know that this might be disappointing, but rest assured, Multiverses will be back. We'll also ensure that all of your progress and content will carry over when Multiverses returns next year, with a variety of new content, features, and modes. Along the way, we'll be providing updates, so keep an eye on our social channels, as well as our dedicated FAQ. Thank you to the entire Multiverses community. Greatly appreciate your passion and excitement, and can't wait for you to share our next chapter with you. And then they went into a full FAQ and all these questions, and it's just like A lot of it is,
It,
what happens to my shit.
it's one of those things where, again, man, they should have been transparent from the very beginning that this was going to happen. Like they're saying they release this whole press, this whole information as if we knew about it. Like, oh, by the way, that stuff we were talking about taking it offline is happening now. You
Yeah,
never told us this.
as if like this was always the intention for the
Right, you
game.
never told us this. Like, where was
Yeah,
that ever said? Ever stated you were going to take it offline? Even if it was an open beta, and I missed that part of it,
yeah,
I missed reading it or hearing about it. You still don't communicate the pulling off this off online. No, listen, the honest here, the truth here is, in my opinion, here's what I'm thinking. The numbers dipped heavily. What they ended up doing was they relied too much on the buzz it got when it
yeah,
first launched,
yeah,
because it won awards and it got a lot of buzz. You saw the numbers on the game, but they relied too much on that and they didn't keep it going. They didn't keep that buzz going. They figured, oh, we have the buzz. It's gonna keep going. People like this. They're gonna keep playing it. We don't have to say nothing. We don't have to hype it up anymore. Like, we don't have to hype it up anymore. Nothing. We don't have to market it. Nothing. We'll just keep taking the money and let's ride the hype machine till it dies. Because I literally haven't heard nothing about multiverses in like 3 months.
yeah.
Like, it's been a minute since I heard multiverses. In fact, that when I heard this news is when I was like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that game. And then I kept reading, going, wait, what? That's on them.
I want to go
That's
to
on
where
them for not letting me, for not subliminally talking, like telling me, hey, multiverses is still a thing. I haven't seen nothing on it.
so here, this is where they get to be like, oh, hey, cool. So game release posted July 26, 2022. Open beta is now live. So that's basically where they're able to hang their hat and be like, hey, we told
I'll
you.
take that. I'll take that. I didn't read that. I'll take that.
But either way, but it's like it still doesn't feel right, because if this was an open beta, then you know what the right thing would have been to do cosmetically is not charge for any of this shit. Like, have everything available in the game, skin wise and everything, not charge a fucking dime, and just let you get access to all of this stuff.
By the way, WB, my money was beta too. Can I get that shit back? I'm pulling it. You get it back early next year, maybe.
Yeah. Me giving
you for you to get it back. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. It's really annoying when people, and this is not your rinky dink fucking developer, run of the mill. This is like WB, a big. They don't need this fucking money.
I mean, I get you're not losing any of the shit that that you would have earned if you bought the season pass.
I get that, but I'm not able to play it. It's gonna be, once they turn it off, it's a brick. It's literally
and then it's up,
a thumbnail.
Yeah,
and then it is a thumbnail.
And then it's up to them when they decide, when they're targeting early 2024. The fuck, like,
because heed the word targeting. That don't mean shit. That just means we plan on bringing it out early next year. Early next year can mean anywhere from June to or January to, like, I don't know, March. That could be early, but again, it's a target. We just went through this with the whole 12-month window that Microsoft put out that Starfield missed the mark on. Like, it's a target date. That doesn't mean it's going to hit it. It just means they're planning on it. And by all means, that's the milestones they're trying to hit. But they can always say, you know what, we didn't hit those milestones. Now we're targeting late next year.
Hey, this is great right here. Will refunds be available for previously purchased content? This announcement does not change any current refund policies or terms offered by storefronts for which Founders Packs or Gleamium bundles were purchased. For more information, please visit customer support pages for PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and Epic Games. Additionally, refunds are not available as a result of open beta closure. However, all progress and previously earned or purchased content will carry over when MULTIVERSUS returns in early 2024.
It's disgusting, man. It's the word I want to use. It's disgusting that they did this, man. It's just,
this shit is crazy.
Very, very. Just I get so much bad vibes from this, man. Like, it's not cool, man. Like, who knows how many people will return to your game when you launch it again. And now think about that. In good faith, you're going to be selling in your store again in season passes. In good faith, you really think these gamers are going to want to buy your shit on good faith? Like, after you did this, you think gamers going to be like, oh, willingly? I mean, they're going to be gamers that don't know about this news and be like, whatever, and just get it for the first time.
And see it as a new release. Yeah, exactly.
Right. And that's what they're going to do. Although you might release this and market it as a new release.
Although you might have been living under a fucking rock to not know that this was like going, like, right, you know exactly. What I mean?
And they're banking on that. And they're banking on that part right there. Because when they relaunch this, it's going to be relaunched. Mark my words. They're going to relaunch this as a new title, as if it never existed. It's gonna be brand new, cutscenes and splashes and menus. They're gonna make it to the point where it's gonna be totally like for people who haven't heard about this game or never played it or never touched it. They're gonna be like, oh, this is a brand new game. I want to get this, and another $100 will be sold, another 40, 50, whatever it is,
Right.
skins, all that's gonna be sold again, and they're gonna make their money again. It's oh my god. I don't know if egregious is the word I'm looking for. Maybe that's the wrong word, but disgusting is definitely something I want to lean on. It's bad. Like,
I mean, I would sum it up to just shady business practice for sure.
There you go.
It's just not like I understand that the loophole is the fact that when this game launched, it launched under the guise of open beta, but then I don't like the fact that I understand the idea of the beta just not also being out anymore because it's still, but the fact that you don't transition, you know what else is in open beta right now? Fucking Escape from Tarkov. I mean, for outside of like updates that they've had
Fortnite,
to do, which
how long was
made,
that in beta for?
yeah, before and I understand that but this is not small.
That Fortnite pulling the plug.
This is not small fucking publisher we're talking about here. It's WB. This is what I mean. Like, so what are we?
Yeah, you've done games like this before. Well, not this exactly, but you're not new to the games.
Star Citizen, like, and that's another thing too. Star Citizen, and that's even more. I mean, and if you could believe, like, there's shit that's even more egregious. Like, there's literally shit that's even more egregious when it comes to that, because Star Citizen, I swear to God, I'm still on that fucking train where it's like you're never seeing that game, that 1.0. You're never seeing it, but it's pretty. But you can still fucking play it. You can still play it. There's still a lot of shit you can play. There's a lot of things you can do, but that shit is egregious as fuck.
It's the first time I've ever. And I speak for myself. Maybe somebody else has seen this and I missed it, but I've never seen them do this. Like pull like a full on beta, other than Anthem, which was not a beta. They just pulled that because that shit was just.
That shit might as well been called a fucking beta. They tried to call that a AAA game. The fuck.
True. But it's like, here we are in 2023 calling this game an open beta that's gonna be pulled. It's like, okay, great.
And another thing too, so fine print stuff, they were actually removing it. So even though the servers are gonna shut off June 25th, but they're not gonna let you download the game past April 4th. So like they're shutting off the ability to download the game past April 4th. And the servers will be shut off by the end of June.
From the shut off to the sunsetting.
Yeah, and then they're just extending.
But not buying in the store.
And they're just extending season 2. But right now it's like, there's honestly, it's wild.
So you can't buy it past April 4th, which that's Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then they'll shut it off by June 25th.
Yeah.
So what in those 6? If we're talking about targeting early 2024.
Yeah.
Those 6 months they're going to shut it off for. What are they striving for?
So changes that will be implemented as part of the multiverse launch. We plan to focus on several areas, including the content cadence of new characters, maps and modes, netcode and matchmaking improvements, progression system updates, and much more. We'll have additional details to share as we get closer to launch.
The much more part always gets me.
Yeah, much more.
And much more.
Yeah, well, it's like us when I put in the title and more.
Definitely fans of our pod.
Yeah, exactly. And the and more.
Yeah, and more.
This is wild. I mean, I played it. I did have fun with it. I
had fun with it.
I was playing a lot.
The time of the duration I played it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. After I finished playing it, there was nothing for me to play it for. When I completed the game, my thing is, after the initial buzz. Did they get back? Did they continue the hype train, or because I really didn't see anything else in my as far as in my face ad wise, or buzz for it. Like once that initial launch buzz happened, there was nothing else for it. It was just
it seems like they let off the gas pedal and people let off the fucking game. Period. Like that's like I mean,
let's be for real. Gamers today, especially myself, we have a short attention span.
Right.
If you're not throwing it in my face, I'm gonna forget about it. Especially if you're not a game that I religiously play, like a COD game or Battlefield game, or like just religiously play a title, or you're not the flagship of the console I'm on, like a Halo. Like if you're not that type of game and you're brand new into the space with your game, you need to speak about it. And a lot. This is not a 6-month thing, and we're gonna ride the fucking wave. Keep talking about it. Your numbers dropped because you didn't keep talking about it. I don't think it had to do with the no net code and because you had stuff in the store to buy, so that was there. Season passes was there. The net code was solid for me and for most people. Other than the initial launch, which got a fluctuate, got a lot of people playing at once, so that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it kind of averaged out and got better. So, what are you talking about? Like, I have a feeling it's gonna be a brand new fucking game when it launches again. It won't be this. It won't be this.
Steam,
and they'll reset it again.
Yeah, the Steam comments towards the end, because obviously now it's mixed for recent ever since this news. So you get Steam comments, monetized, open beta. Yeah, great game. Right here, wow, overhyped, underdelivered, now disappointing. Would love to see the total amount of money these guys stole from everyone. I mean, so it's like...
I wouldn't say stole.
That's what I mean. Accidentally set my age to below 13, couldn't change it. No longer play online. Super boring game. Cool characters and aesthetic, though. Well, there it goes. Almost 200 thrown in the drain from me. But so that's the thing, because you can't play it 6 months, but this person literally, if you're to believe this comment, if you're going to take this comment at face value, that person put $200 into an open beta that he's not going to have access to.
No access to. He might have got his $200 worth.
That's what I and correct.
Thing, but
yes,
the part that stings that you won't be able to access it no more.
Yeah,
that's the stingy part right there. And of course, the emotions are high on it, so it's like one of those things.
Sorry.
Here's the cruddy part, and it's so cruddy to think this way. But it can happen now that they've done this. Imagine they relaunch this game as a brand new title, and they're telling people that pay $200 for this and say, because it's a brand new title, we're not going to charge you full price, but if you want the brand new title, it's an upcharge of $20.
Nah, if this shit comes out and there's any price attached to it, I'll never buy it, because this should still be launched as fucking free to play, because there's still too many other things, too many other options to play that it would probably be bad. I mean, as far as in this genre, sure,
it's just crazy.
Sure,
wow.
Yeah, that shit is wild though.
It's very wild, man. Yeah, man.
They had the ambassador program. What's the ambassador program?
All that. Ambassador, I believe, was I don't know what that.
Elite group of content creators. How many people were? Oh, was this in the Oh yeah. Ready? Oh, come on. I have to. Let's just make the full thing real quick.
What is that?
That's bad. Hold on. Become a multiverse ambassador and join an elite group of You want to be a multiverse ambassador, Kills?
This is like that whole tell a friend program, right?
Do you want to sign? Do you want to sign up as content creators and create content for the? Are you sure?
You're telling me that
I think it'd be great.
Open beta that you were gonna turn the fuck off after this many months, and you did this? I didn't know this.
Ambassador program requirements. Here we go. Let's see. What are the requirements? Players who think they're good to fit ambassador program need to meet the following requirements: are in good standing with social media and content creation communities, gaming or otherwise, drive healthy engagement with MULTIVERSUS channels on a regular basis, are active and engaged with MULTIVERSUS community, abide by the MULTIVERSUS terms and use, must be 18 or older. Be a leader. Ambassadors think like leaders and encourage creativity, serve as role models, and are passionate and have a positive attitude. Create.
You want to be a leader?
Ambassadors are creative. They produce content that's entertaining and interesting for the whole community. Shit, I don't know if that's our content. Is that our content? I don't know. Better the content is, the higher chances that'll be promoted across MULTIVERSUS community and social live stream platforms. Got it. Yeah, because people were really fucking looking for MULTIVERSUS content after the fact, right? I mean, like I said, I was only showing the Steam numbers, but
they're going away. It's our fault, man, because we
didn't join the ambassador program. That's why.
Clearly, right there, smacking the screen, it says help with an exclamation point. They are asking for our help, and we didn't give it to them.
We would have gotten 1,000 subs actually by now if we joined the ambassador program.
1,000 subs would have happened if we would have joined the ambassador.
If we would have joined the ambassador program, we definitely would have. The channel would have blown up.
That's a missed opportunity right there.
Sure.
But they were asking blatantly right there, help.
Bro, imagine us, and then imagine you right now if you're an ambassador. Like, imagine if you were like that person, unfortunately, that did the ambassador, that you were passionate, that you were playing this game day in day out on fucking stream, on Twitch, on YouTube, or whatever.
On your stream,
and then
going in on this,
and then this comes out, and then you got to read this shit to your community. And you got to be like, guys, what's going on here? Yeah, so this game that I've been like,
a channel around this.
That's what I mean. Like, imagine if this was the game you decided to be like, yo, like, I'm going ham on this right now.
My views are here. Yeah, because my community is being built because of this game.
Nintendo still ain't fucking with creators, so it's like, you know what? This is it right here. This is my chance. You know, I love Smash, but I can't. But I can't stream Smash. So I'll do this. You know, the next best thing. And yeah, man, and then having to deal with this. This is it's unfortunate.
And I'm
Early
sure that there's
2024.
this is me just because in this day and age everything is content. I'm assuming people created content around this on their channel. Maybe not main. I'm not sure, but
Sure.
like I'm sure content creators started their careers with that game because they got that fluctuation numbers. People were literally tuning in to watch it, and they were promoting it. And now you got to tell your community, hey, I'm gonna play something else. I can't play this no more after April or after June. Like I have to play something else. And your community's like, nah, well, we're here for this. We ain't here for nothing else.
I mean, Maximilian, what happened a month ago? Maximilian, dude, put out, that's the fighting game community guy right there. That is the guy.
Yeah,
FGC
there's a whole
community.
community for
He's got
this.
339K views 1 month ago. What happened to Multiverses? 4 days ago, Multiverse being taken offline. That was HBox. That's a big melee guy. Hungry Box, HBox. He's at 93,000 views, but he gives his opinion on it. 6 days ago, open beta update, 74,000. This was from the official Multiverse. Like I just did a quick YouTube search real quick, and the
Yeah,
Multiverses, like what's wrong with Multiverses 6 days ago. It's a lot of that.
yeah,
And
that's
then if you go old
fucking.
enough, and then if you go old enough, like Multiverses gameplay 4K 60, no commentary,
No
from somebody,
commentary. Yeah,
it
I
was
saw that one. I'm doing it right now. Yeah,
765,000 views. Like, it's all over the place, but still, what did you see from the open beta update? Yeah, man, that shit is fucking wild.
it's
Live service
wild, man.
massacre claims, and technically, and that's another thing too. This is technically a live service. You did a live service open beta that you fucking charged money for.
Yep.
You charged money in a fucking
This is
beta.
why I'm in the camp now. I'm being vocal about these developers. They have to be a lot more descriptive and specific on what they mean by beta. Because even Rod came out when the beta went off for Diablo.
Yeah,
He came out and he says, there's a lot of confusion with what kind of beta were this beta was not a demo. This beta was a technical test on the beta side. So they really got to start distinguishing that kind of stuff. Like if it's a technical test, call it a technical test.
yeah,
Because to me, a beta is a technical test, period. If it's a demo, that means that this is the game that's close to finished product, and
yeah,
this is what's most likely to launch. Like that's what a demo is to me. This is you're playing a finished product.
yeah.
That's not a beta to me. Is technical test. So there's a lot of the industry's got to get better with the lingo on these kind of things. But it's a shame that we are now experiencing this for the first time, where people spend, and I didn't spend a dime on it. I'm not bloating or gloating. I'm saying
Sure.
I'm not saying
I feel bad.
yay
I feel
me.
bad for people that do,
I
even
feel
though,
bad
yeah,
for people who spend $200 or more and started careers on or started their streaming careers on this game, and the fighting community was all about it. Now to hear this news, it's kind of crazy, man.
yeah, it's wild.
It's a shame, man. Warner Brothers, man, do better, do
Shit.
better, or be better, do whatever it is, but be better, man. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
do something.
Do something. Anyways, man. I think that's all the topic today, right? Unless you got something to say.
That's all I got, man.
Pat wants us to talk about something. But yeah, man, we've reached the conclusion of episode 82. Just so you guys know, we are taking an Easter break, or Passover, I should say, right?
I mean, whatever holidays fall next week for us.
Whatever
Whatever you celebrate, but yeah,
correct.
Easter. I mean, I'm working regardless anyway, so if we did pod, it was gonna be a late one, but I ain't trying to like fucking get out when I get out. And,
work don't care about.
yeah,
they want to celebrate with you.
not where I work exactly. We're gonna be me and my fucking Easter bunny outfit. Okay. No, it's not that type of job. I don't have to wear an Easter bunny outfit, but you never know.
It can't be as bad as fucking Black Friday. That was the worst. Oh,
Yeah,
doing
man.
that shit on Best Buy retail, it was no good.
Shit.
Or GameStop, yeah, that was not fun at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we are gonna take our break. We are scheduled to. Here's where I use the word. We're targeting a return.
Yeah, we're targeting return for the following Sunday, but pay close attention to our socials and everywhere you follow us. Yeah, and
we took all your feedback, and
yeah.
we are taking into consideration coming back and targeting.
Yeah, we're targeting
in a month,
an April 16th return, 16th, but
yes,
to be to be determined.
To be determined. TBD.
Yeah, TBD.
But no, man, we are taking a break for next week. So we can enjoy that with our friends and families, and some of us enjoy it with work.
Yeah.
Like Logic. But other than that, man, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take that break off. We'll be back with episode 83 in roughly 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I want to leave you guys with this message. Thanks to you, beautiful bastards. This channel has hit some pretty cool milestones. We are now officially at 500 subs, and 100K views. In the 3 years of creating on this channel, these are the amazing stats we've come up with. I know we like saying this a lot to you guys. We say thanks a lot, but if we are being honest, this does not happen without the community, and that's you guys. So here's to the next milestones of 1K subs, more views, bring 200K, and lots more memories to make with you guys. So I appreciate you guys coming in here every single Sunday, whether it be 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, or Mondays, or we off the week and come back next week. You guys still stay true to us. You keep coming back for our discussions and our topics. Thank you guys for coming in. I got nothing else to say for episode 82. Logic?
Nah, shout out to everybody that was here. Obviously, all the audio listeners that tuned in after we record as well too, man. Big shout out to the 500 subs and the 100K views. And, you know, it's not just pod related too. That's also a lot of the work that you've been putting in as well. I think we definitely got to tip the cap to that as well. A lot of the shorts and other content, you going live and doing the shorts as well, is definitely been showing, because, you know, and just better too. Like you'd see, like, just like with the pod, you know, you see, go back to some of those earlier episodes and just how kind of like raw pause and just the way that they kind of looked and sound and stuff like that to kind of like where we are now. And,
awesome.
And not to say that we're like on some like professional type shit, but
no, man, but the journey is appreciated. It's awesome. You go back, it humbles you. It keeps us grounded to know where we came from and where we've been going to, and like all the changes and everything. Yeah. Even though a lot of the times it's subtle, but it's changes that are to improve the quality of the overall experience here on this channel.
And I think the same and the same that could be said too, like I said, for the content that you've been putting out as well too. So, you know, just what you've been doing with the shorts and stuff, it's definitely commendable. So definitely tipping the cap, man.
Yeah, appreciate that. Really appreciate that. But yeah, man. See you guys in targeted 2 weeks.
Targeted date of April 16th, but targeted. So you never know. It could be 2 weeks, or it could be 2 months, depending on how we feel.
It could be the key there is 2.
Right, 2.
Number 2.
Yeah, number 2. 2 weeks.
2 months, 2 years. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but we'll be back. We'll see you guys in a few weeks. Other than that, man, enjoy you guys' enjoy your Sunday evening or Monday morning or whatever it is where you're at in part of the world.
Yep.
Because some of you guys are Monday morning already. New Zealand.
Yeah.
Shout out. But yeah, man, looking forward to his releases. But we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, man.
Word.
Other than that, enjoy the rest of your Sunday with your friends and families. Happy fucking Sunday. Be fucking gaming.
Later.